off. I don't want that. The 18-year-old can very well stay in my home and I'll take care of them till they get to a point where they feel as though that they're ready to be out on their own. I'm all down with that, but I'm not going to say, hey, look, you're 18 now. You're supposedly an adult. Why don't you go get your girl and y'all move in together? I'm not doing that. That doesn't lay right with me at all. So,
at sometimes I'm gonna say this, and I know this ain't gonna be sexy.
Who cares?
Sometimes it's we as parents. I'll say we because I'm a parent as well. We give our kids this enormous bag of entitlement, and I think back in the day, an 18-year-old could stay at the house with their parents until they were ready, because they provided that child. Hey, they're right. Say, listen. You want to get married? This is what happens. This is the consequences. And back then, children, some of them didn't, but a lot of kids listened to their parents and say, you know what, Mom, I will wait. And they got married. But now I think that so many parents say, I don't want my kid to grow up like I grew up. And they give them this huge sense of entitlement. And kids will stay at the house. They don't want to leave. They're living with their mamas till they're 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 years old, 30 years old. I know a woman right now that 50 years old, still living with her mama. And so when you have that big sense of entitlement, I think kids don't feel like they have to go out and work or build or find someone who will be there for them. Or I just think things are just completely flipped upside down. Security boss.
Well, yeah, but you want to support your children as long as you can. But again, once they become as of age, right, they can do what they want to do. But right. If I'm going to support it, it's going to be some behavior that I can get behind. I'm not going to support bad behavior. And if I think that 2 18-year-olds should not be shacking up, I'm not going to support it.
Exactly.
If I had an 18-year-old son and he wanted to be married to an 18-year-old, I would try my best, me and Mr. Boss, to explain to him what marriage looks like, what this entails, and I would help those two. I would help them. You know what? You want to take it a little further. I would even say, if you're wanting to marry this woman, you feel like this is the woman that you want to live with for the rest of your life, y'all can come live with me. But you're going to marry her. We ain't going to be laying up in here.
Right.
No, not up under my roof. We can't do it.
You're not going to be jugging and snugging.
No. But we would make sure that they had all the knowledge they needed to have about being married. As much, you can't make anybody, you can't go through it with them, but you can give them all the information and help them make those informed decisions about what they want to do. But just to go to someone's daughter, dad, and be like, I just need her to come live with my son. That's kind of devastating. That's like, please don't do that. Hey, Salam. Hello, Anissa. B. McCrae. Hello, how are you? JG, what's going on with you all? So it's so good to see you guys here. Thank you so much for being here. But yes, marry her. Salam, how you been? But, that was just one of those things. And to me, we have accepted dysfunction so much. Now, what that does to me, this is what it says to me. And I'm both parties. It says to me that we've accepted shacking as being a normal way of life. So the expectation is very low. I like excellence or the road to excellence. Why am I not good enough? Why is this relationship not good enough to become legal? What is keeping you from making us legal? What is I'm sitting up here with you. I'm doing all these things a wife should do. You doing all these things a husband should do, but we can't be legal. Why? You have to set expectations for yourself, and you have to elevate yourself, and you just can't, everything ain't all right. And that would be one of the things that wouldn't be okay with me. No, we're going to just shack up for 20 years. Oh, really? Who are you shacking with? No, not me. That's not me. Trey says 48% of those who marry before 18 are likely to end in divorce within 10 years. Probably so, Trey, because maybe they don't have the right tools. I have no idea. Who knows? I mean, from what I'm seeing, just 50%. So another 2% of those, however age they are, they don't last very long either. It all depends. You still got that other percentage that made it. And if you want to make your marriage successful, that would be your concentration, and that would be what you do. If your intentions are foul going in, or you can't transform from a single person to a married person, you may have issues, and it could cause a lot of growing pains, because once you're married, you got to think different. But I would give all the information necessary to make sure the individuals understood what marriage is. But just living together, y'all, I couldn't get behind that. I couldn't, black man.
I agree 100%.
I could not. So anybody, Trey says 60%. Trey coming with the stat: 60% of marriage between 20 and 25 end in divorce. Yeah, see, Trey, you remember the other day I told you, I said, you're concentrating on a lot on the ones that get divorced. I said, why don't you concentrate on the ones that actually make it? And what was your response? I don't really know what you said, but again, you're concentrating on the ones that didn't make it. See, like I said, I like the excellent side. I like the good ending, you know, the positive ending. I'm not interested in those that didn't make it. That just says to me that they didn't do the work, or they didn't do enough work.
Those unrealistic expectations.
It could have been
the number one reason why those people are getting divorced. They thought they would get something that they wouldn't get. They're hypergamous, or they're looking at their single friends out and having a good time. Did you get that video I sent you today, Security Boss?
Oh, black man.
With the woman talk about the girl trips?
Black man, you sent me some videos today that I wanted to play, but when they started going to the left so bad, I was like, oh, I can't do it. The verbiage in those videos, black man.
Oh, did you see?
I was like, I can't bring that out there.
Did you see the one where the girl was talking about the girl trips?
Tell me more.
She said, she's married. She said, I know my husband might be watching. That's fine.
Yeah.
If she said, me and my girlfriends who are married or single go out on a girls trip.
The 4 ladies on the panel, right?
Yes.
Oh my God, black man.
She said, we're going to be hoes. We're going to get some sex on these islands and these beaches. And she said, if the girls and the wives that I hang with don't want to go, she said, well, y'all don't want to have sex. She said, just stay and go on the church trip.
No, she said, y'all anti-hoes. If you ain't hoeing, you are anti-hoe.
Anti-hoe, yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And she kept going, well, you can't. I'm telling you now, we hoeing on this trip. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And the woman said, why can't I just go and have a good time? She's like, no, on this trip right here, you're going to have to be a hoe. I'm like, and guess what? These was grown women.
Grown.
This was no 25-ish.
Wait a minute.
Every last one of them was 40 plus.
Yeah.
Every last one of them ladies was 40 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, black man, I did see it. And she got real dirty on it too. I was like, I cannot.
And she just said, if y'all don't want to be a hoe on the trip, y'all just wait on the church trip.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's called them anti-hoes.
Anti-hoes.
Now, black man, see, I can't bring that out here and you and I talk about it, because guess what they're going to say about us? They're going to say we bashing women.
Yeah.
But she spelled it out.
She did.
She said what they was going to do. This is a real thing, though. This is what's crazy. Hey, Mandrell, that was what's crazy. She said what we already knew. Trey, I don't know, but she sure put it out there. It was no secret. But the one lady was like, no, I would just like to go have a good time. She was like, not with us.
Not with us.
Oh, that sounds terrible. Like she going to make her do something.
Yep. And like Trey just said, she's telling us what we already knew. But look at the influence that a strong-minded woman like that would have on a woman that she could control. You heard what she said? She said, not with us, you won't. Yep. So basically saying, you can't go on this nice Caribbean trip with us if you ain't giving up no cootie.
She said
it. So imagine how the influence will be when they finally got there. And one of the guys came on to the girl she said, no, I'm married. I'm not like them. Girl, you about to get that. Mm-hmm. And eventually, guess what happens?
Well, John the Baptist,
is something different.
Look. John the Baptist, thanks so much for your $5 super chat. He says, sounds like he may need a roommate. Ask your homeboys to roommate or move back to your dad's house. I agree with all of that. And all of that would work. I just don't know how that going over to a girlfriend's daddy house, that don't seem like it would be working. Just to comment, how are you doing today? He says, under no circumstances could a BF or GF, girlfriend or boyfriend, visiting think that it was okay to sleep over, claiming it's too late to drive back. The respect used to be there. you would leave at a respectable time. You know what? When I was dating, dating, I would call it dating. We couldn't go past the living room.
Same here.
We couldn't go past
Same
the living
here.
room. You like coming home from college and things like that. You couldn't bring your boyfriend.
Yep. Mama said, don't go past my living room.
Yeah, your boyfriend couldn't go in there and sit on your bed and lay on your bed and be none of that stuff. Now it's just like commonplace. Oh, mama, we come up, but that's you
now
know.
the white folks do it.
Do what? Do what?
Let them what? Got daughters, let the boy go up, lay across her bed, watch TV. Door closed. Oh no.
You saying sisters and black folks don't do that?
Oh no. Well,
yeah, they do. Yes, they do. They'll let them come home.
The times we in now, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do. And they'll do for more than that. And they'll be like, well, I didn't know they was having sex. I'll be like, really? You didn't know?
Well, speaking of that security boss, I sent you another video. You got to go through all of them. I sent you a bunch.
I know, I did.
That's video where the daddy finds out that his daughter, him and the mom is not together, they're divorced. And he finds out his daughter's pregnant. And the mama say, and the girl's like 15, and the dad was like, wait a minute. He said, the majority of the time she's with you. Why are you allowing her out with boys these time of nights? He said, when she's with me, she don't have those privileges. And the mama said, I don't see nothing wrong with her being pregnant. The girl made a choice. She pregnant. It's fine. It's okay. Why are you worried about it? If you don't want her to be pregnant, if you don't want to be, if you got something to say about it, just don't talk to her no more. If you don't want to talk, if you don't want to support her pregnancy.
Black man, I didn't see that one.
The daddy, he was hot.
I love that name. It's good to see you here. I don't even know any women like that. Every time I hear these stories, it blows my mind. You know what? Joyfully chosen. It used to blow my mind too. But I've been over here in these spots about 2 years now. I'm riding with it down. Nothing they do surprises me. It just gets worse and worse. And you be like, see, this is the thing though. Black man and Dusto, y'all used to tell me way back 2 years ago. SB, they like this. I'd be like, no, my women are not like that. I used to take up for. Remember, black man? Can you remember back then?
I got a real good one for you.
What?
Hold on to your seat now.
What?
Remember when I told you that Russell Wilson was a simp?
Yeah.
And you said there's no reason for Russell to be a simp?
It isn't.
Did you hear what his wife said on the interview?
Today? No.
She said, Future is her type, but she settled for Russell.
I did hear something about her settling. I did hear that. Yeah.
Simp. Why would she want to be with?
Wait a minute. Why would she say that? Why would she say?
She said Future is her taste. These are her words. That's my taste.
I've heard that. I think Mr. Miles told me something about her saying something about she's settling.
Yes. Simp. I told you, Mr. Security, I don't miss on simp. I see him.
Okay, so what? So he's going out of his way to make this woman happy, to love him. Is that where we are with this? Is that what a simp is?
Well, a simp is someone that's doing something for me. This is because people make up that. A simp is a person who does something for a woman, and the woman does not appreciate it, or neither does she want it, or she does not want to be with you. And if my wife got on live on a camera and said, Future is my taste. That's what I like. But I settled with my husband. Bye.
So you think that she doesn't like her husband and she keep pushing out these babies. So you saying somewhere in there, she has now said, I'm going to make this work for me.
Yeah. She's forcing herself into it.
Forcing herself with Russell Wilson.
Because she wants Future.
She
wants Future. But
wow. Okay, so they calling him, they're saying he's not a simp because they're married. He's a beta. I don't know, but they are married. Christina says,
Mr. Boss, you know what? Mr. Boss don't do a lot of talking, but he got a sound effect. Get your sound effect ready, Mr. Boss. Mr. Boss, Security Boss comes and does a show in California. They invite her to this big show in California. She's sitting down and they say, hi, Security Boss. So tell us about your marriage. And Security Boss says, you know what? My taste is 50 Cent, but I settled with my husband. Thank you.
I can't believe. But how is Russell a settlement? My God, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I did hear something about she had a new I thought it was just some kind of, I don't know, was talking to somebody, but you're saying who did the interview?
Some black lady. I don't know her name.
Yeah, and she's had the baby too. The new baby, has that baby come too?
No.
She's pregnant now with number four.
It'd be five because it's twins.
Oh no. Oh God. So 5 including Future's baby, or 5 with her and Russell?
5 with her and Russell, right? Yeah.
I don't know. Oh my God. Well, look.
But think about it. Over the years, she just talked herself into, okay, I can stay. I can stay. I can stay. I can stay. Okay. And when I close my eyes and he hitting that thing, Future in my mind.
Oh my God. Like, man, I hope it's not like that. I hope this is not true. Anyway, beautiful animated. How are you doing today? Christina White says, there are mothers like that. I used to work with a lady that called her teenage daughter at home every day to, it went away.
To take her birth control.
Oh my goodness. She had to remind the teenage girl to take her birth control. Oh Lord. I guess that was mama said, that's the least I can do. I ain't trying to be grandma yet. So she, oh my God. Oh, black man. So listen, black man, what you think about the young ladies that's on the thumbnail and their dysfunction? We got Tamar Braxton. You heard anything about Tamar lately?
Catch me up on Tamar. Because I need to.
You know, Tamar, now y'all may have not known this, but Tamar, Vince, the manager, he was her second husband. They stayed married 9 years, but she had a man before him that she was married.
I did not know that.
I didn't either, but I heard it. I was like, what? Who is he? They just, showed him briefly. I don't know anything about him, but that marriage didn't work. Vince, 9 years. That marriage didn't work. Then after that, it was the African guy. I heard that one involved some DV, some out of controlness. Yes. And then this last one, I think his name is Travis. He's an attorney, Caucasian brother, good looking man. He said he had to get away. She was toxic.
That's
you think? Well, yeah, I thought that was all for show, though. I didn't think she would actually act that way, in her personal life. But apparently she does. And her toxic dysfunction has now ran off another man, and he out of there.
Yeah. She could go to the website, ihitawall.com, and they'll just give her ways that she can get through. They have stressed dogs, cats.
Shut up.
It's basically over for her.
She's a beautiful woman, I think. And all 3 of the ladies are beautiful women. And I'm just wondering, what dysfunction are they putting out there that's keeping them single? And you got your girl, Ebony. You love Ebony. You and Ebony Williams, y'all, it seems like y'all could have a good conversation. I know you like her. And since she's changed her mind now too, she's like,
Yeah, she's flipped the switch, and telling these women you can't. Basically, she'd flipped the switch and said, hey, ladies, I told y'all to be like me, but y'all can't afford to be me. Because she told them, she said, I'm going to get these babies. I'm paying $15,000 every time I go. What average woman can do that? She's right.
But it ain't working for her.
It ain't.
Because remember, just 6 months ago, she was telling you that the bus driver ain't hitting on it unless he owned the bus. Now she's saying, ladies, y'all better start real early trying to find the man you want, because you're going to end up like me, alone at 40. And it ain't working for me. So, her dysfunction. Can you imagine? She can't get it right. So now she's at a place where she's looking for a man to make a certain amount of money in order to be with her. But she realizes now that she's elevated herself to a point where she may not find that man. So now, you know what? She's going to be a poster boy for a whole lot of other women, because a lot of women think like that. I'm at a certain point in my life where I deserve a certain type of man, and any other man is not good enough if he's not making a certain amount of money. Isn't that what Tyler was kind of talking about? Yeah. So straight dysfunction. See how we live with it? We just make it so normal. Because what is the money supposed to be for?
Right.
What is it for? How is it making you happy? If it's making you happy, you don't need no man. Ain't that what the other half saying? You don't need no man. So hey, it's gonna be happy. And what about the other young lady? Now you saw her. I know you saw her on the show with Charleston White, and she was sitting out on his lap and doing all the crazy antics and things of that nature.
Yeah, well,
and her 35 body count. Black man, I don't believe you ain't got nothing to say about that.
Yeah, we talked about this on the barbershop. Oh, Lord have mercy. Easy Money was over there, security boss. I don't know where he came from. I think he came from the south side of Jupiter. Um, because that body count stuff, it matters, especially um now that we've gotten into the world. Biblically, a lot of people say they don't believe in biblical terms or Bible or Christianity anymore, and that's their prerogative.
Mm.
When the Bible talked about soul ties, so a lot of people said that don't exist because basically they probably were out there in the streets. However, scientists now have discovered that soul ties are a real thing. That a man who enters a woman can be in that woman for the rest of her life. And so I think that that can affect a woman. And think about that 35 bodies. She said she had sex with 3 men in 48 hours.
Mm.
And she's a wife. Okay.
Anissa say you lying. Listen, I remember us doing
Anissa, I'm lying about what I'm lying about, Anissa. You come up
Oh.
here, or no, we'll tell you later. We'll see about you
Listen,
later.
I remember you and I doing a show where we looked up a study that talked about DNA being found, um, in women, or it wasn't a woman. It was what animal was it? I forgot what it was. But years and years later, they did tests. Maybe I don't forgot what it was, y'all. But we did a show about
Yeah,
that.
I got the receipts. If she need them, Anissa, you need them, I'll send them to you.
I don't know what Anissa was talking about, though. We ain't gonna get into that. But anyway, we're talking about dysfunction tonight. Is keeping them single. So, Black Man Dope, before we go into it, Black, what's going on with you? It's good to see you trifling. But anyway, Black Man, you got something you want to add before we get into this video? Because this video tells the story before we get into it.
Play that video. Play that beautiful bean footage.
Bean footage. All right, so here we go, Mr. Buzz. Y'all pay attention to this video.
It's my opinion that I feel like negativity spreads a lot farther than positivity. So you have these horror stories that will spread on social media. You have maybe your girl that went through some negative things or some trauma with a man, and I understand that. But I do feel like that there is so many positive reflections of good men being good in relationships, and they don't really get the acknowledgement. So when we say that there is a lack of quality men, is that not acknowledging the quality men that are there?
Absolutely. I think.
All right, Black Man. We've been talking about this as far as women sharing in the trauma of other women, and these things never happening for, I guess we've been hitting it for the last month. I told a story about Erykah Badu, how she said that her aunt Tyrone came from her aunts just sitting around the table going off on men. It is really not a real man. It's just a song made up from their dysfunction. And he just made it clear that a lot of times we take on other people's trauma, we make it ours. And when we always say that there's not enough good men, that is acknowledging that there are some good men. So why you can't get one of them? Or what's keeping you from having one of them? What do you think, Black Man? What is keeping you from having a good man if you acknowledge that there's not enough of them? Why you can't get into that, get into that number? What would be what's keeping you?
Well, I think, again, going back to what I said earlier, I think it's expectations. I want. And for years, I think women will say, I want. And then when that 40 hit, that 45 hit, that 50 hit, then it's going to be, I need. And then when 55 hit, I'll take it. Right? Because then they'll settle. They'll settle for any man that wants to be with them, because now those breasts are sagging. That booty ain't popping like it used to. Those wisdom teeth are moved out of your mouth. It's just not like it used to be. Things change.
But why is that considered settling, though? I mean, if you can attract what you can attract, if everything ain't all tight anymore, and you're getting the older version of what you should have been with years ago, what is wrong with that? What is wrong? Why is that not what you should have? Why is it you're settling?
Well, because you're settling, because it goes back to the story about the man in the boat asking God for help. And the boat came to rescue him. And he said, no, I'm waiting on God. Helicopter came. He said, I'm waiting on God. Somebody passed by and threw a tube out. He said, no, I'm waiting on God. He died, drowned, woke up, and he was in front of God. He said, God, why didn't you help me? He said, I sent you a boat, a helicopter, and a ship to come help you, and you didn't take what I sent you. And so you just settled to die. And I think this is what happens now and with the women today. I've seen this in my own family. My aunt, beautiful woman in her 20s. Oh my, he was gorgeous. I don't want him. Oh girl, he got to get it together. I don't want him. I used to watch. I'd be like, golly, in her 30s. Nope. 40s. Nope. Now she's 51 years old. And now she settled for some guy that looks like a damn half-turned werewolf with a afro on his head. He talked like this. And she settled for it. And I know that's not the man she really wanted, but she settled because she shouldn't have turned down all those guys that were trying to talk to her in her 20s and 30s. And she thought she could, look like that forever. And she does not. So she settled. And now she got little uncle down there. And he's not the man that she always talked about having.
I wouldn't call that selling. I think that's the man you can get at the present time. I think sometimes we think a little bit too much of ourselves. I think at some time in our life, we might need to humble ourselves and realize who we are. She may not realize that her boobs are selling and that her bottom is square.
Yep.
She may not realize that. She may still think that she's hot. And a lot of times they do. A lot of times, ladies, we still think we got it. We might be holding it together a little bit, but it ain't like it's supposed to be or like it was when you were 20 and 30. So now you gotta, if this is what you're attracting, then how are you selling? I still say I'm not getting into this selling thing because I'm saying if this is the man that you're attracting and you decide to be with this man, is that not the man you like? Because why would you go with him if you didn't? What would be the reason, black man? If they
because she tired of turning over at night, and the only thing touching that coochie is that pillow.
Well, that's gonna be the only thing that's gonna touch it, then, though. I mean, I don't get that selling thing. If this is what you are attracting, and this is what you said I do too, or this is what you like, or this is what you went with, how is it settling? I don't get it.
Let me give you an example.
You could have been by yourself.
Yeah, let me give you an example.
You got that option.
Let me give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
I go look at a 5-bedroom home. I like it. Nah, I pass. I go look at a 6-bedroom. I pass. Those 2 houses sold. Damn, I go look at a third one. Damn, that's real nice, baby. No, I'm not gonna pull a gun on them. I pass. Right? And then I go back to that neighborhood where I want to live, where I want to be. And the only thing left there is a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath with a 1/2 acre in the backyard. But I want to live there because that's the school I want my kids to go to. If I buy that 2-bedroom house, I settled. My aunt used to say, I want me a tall, dark, handsome man with a bald head. I want him to be successful and college educated. This is what she wanted. The man she with right now is shorter than she is. He looking up at her, right? He's not tall, dark, and handsome. He's not. And the man, I think the man does what do he do for a living? I think he drives school buses or something. Yeah, he drives buses for the parish. So
okay, we gotta be honest though, black man. Was she ever that woman that could get a tall, dark, and handsome man? Yeah. We want what we want.
But in her 20s, she was beautiful. My aunt was gorgeous. Okay, you look at pictures, you be like, wow. So when she got older, it disappeared.
So are you saying in her 20s, a tall, dark, and handsome man came and swept her off her feet and she said, no, I'm not ready for you now. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, I'm going to give you specifics. She was talking to a guy who was a state trooper.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going to be a U.S. Marshal. That was his dream. He wanted to be a U.S. Marshal. Well, the family knew him. Everybody in the family knows him, right? Tall guy, dark skin, shaved head, a police officer, well, a state trooper. She turned him down because she felt like, I don't know why she turned him down, to be honest. I was young, but she didn't want to be with him, right? And I hear my mama say, girl, you turned down that man want to be with you. That man trying to get him a wife. Well, girl, he ain't, well, I can't tell, right? No, that's how she talked. Mm-hmm. And that man moved on. He's married. He's been a U.S. Marshal for years. And he's married, beautiful wife, beautiful children. He got his own family now. And I know she looks at that and be like, right? There was this another guy that he wasn't bald or nothing, but he was a nice guy. His name was Lewis. I never forget it. And Lewis passed away of a brain aneurysm.
Mm.
And this is after she turned him down. This was like years later. He used to come and see her, bring her flowers, talk nice to her. She said, he's just not for me. Right. But he died of an aneurysm. I remember her crying and shedding tears over this man. Right. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, when you gonna wake up? And now she's with a guy. Everybody know my mama. Oh, I wish I called my mama right now. My mama would say, boy, damn well your auntie didn't want to be with nobody like that. But hey, that's the only man that wanted to be with her. That's the only man that walked up to her and started talking to her.
I'm gonna have to do a little research on this selling because I'm not necessarily getting it, because you always have the option to be alone. If selling is what we're saying is a bad thing, you still have an option to be by yourself. Or either, because when I'm hearing it, it's almost like, come on here, I'll go with you. Come on here. They don't really like them. They don't love them. They don't care for them. It's just nothing there, but they're just with them because that's what I hear when I hear settling. But when you gave that scenario that you just gave, when your auntie was 20 and 30, whatever in her did not want to be, her wants was tall, dark, and handsome, but whatever in her did not want to settle down or be ready for that man, right?
Right.
So I consider that null and void.
Right.
When she was ready, what she could get was what she could get, or what was attracted to her. I don't see that as settling. I get that this is what you're pulling right now. This is what's paying you some attention, and this is about all you can get. Now, you don't have to have this. Now, you can settle down. You can just wait a couple of more weeks or months or whatever and see if there's another one to come by. He might, have better hair, or he might be a little taller, but, we're 40, 50 years old now. What are you expecting? What are your expectations? You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. But, I hear a lot of people talking about they're settling. I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know, like, man, I don't get it. I'm gonna have to do, like I said, some research, because I think when a man comes and asks you to marry him and you say yes, I don't get that as selling. I get that was the only thing, the option that you had. You can be alone, which maybe you're saying instead of being alone, she'll go with this one. But to me, that's a good option. I'd rather have a hunk of a man than to be alone. But I don't know if I would feel like I'm selling, because if I felt like I was selling, I think I would just leave it alone. I would be like, nah, that's all right. Because I'd be thinking I would be making somebody else's life miserable. And I would be thinking my life is going to be miserable. Wouldn't you? If a woman you don't like, you got to put up with this woman. What if she don't smell the way you want her to smell? What if?
I think a lot of people do it, though, security boss.
Why? What would be the reason?
Because
just to have somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And that can be contributed as not settling. You're right. It should be another word. It should be the word that you've been using all day, dysfunctional.
Okay, I'm with you now. Let's talk, because that doesn't make sense.
I think so. Yeah, you're right. I think that we should change the word to not settling, but dysfunction, because a lot of people are with somebody just to say they with somebody, just to have somebody to see every day, right? Because think about this. Back in the day, everybody had that one girl in school that they wanted. Woo-hoo. Right? And then so you go to your 20-year class reunion and you see her, and she's not that fine, bang, bang, bang no more. She's not a 1 liter anymore. She's not Coke bottle shaped no more. She's a 3 liter. And when you go up to her, she's not going to have that same attitude that she had when she was 18, 19 years old. She's going to be different. She's going to be more open-minded. She's going to be like, oh, sure. Right? She's, oh, okay. We can get together. Right? And because she wants to feel that she has a man, especially women who feel like have low self-esteem or feel unattractive, they'll just settle for anybody. They'll just settle for anybody that says they like them. And this happens every day. It's dysfunctional.
I'm feeling you now. I'm feeling it, but I'm still not saying settling. I feel like they have just humbled themselves to the option of where they are, meaning their eyes was just not wide open. They just not realized this is where they are in life. They've been pretending. See, I've run into a lot of ladies sometime. I don't deal with men on this, but I run into a lot of ladies sometime who think that they deserve a whole lot more than what they're given because they don't see what they're given is really what it is. You know what I'm saying? You remember how you said she started out as a Coke bottle, now she's a 3-liter?
Right.
They don't see themselves as a 3-liter. Or you know how you may be like when you say in high school or in college, they may be all made up, prim, proper, with a little cute little heels, get the hair done and all that. Now they're 40 plus and they don't do that stuff anymore. But they don't see that could have been an attractive thing to do. Now it's more so they better like me like I am.
And guess what? Their homegirls are saying yes.
Oh, I got one else. I got one more for you. Listen to this one right here. We got some too that been operating in dysfunction so much they think it's normal because they done picked up they the side chicks and they going with somebody else's husband. And they don't realize that Miss Boss, you just shot him dead. Miss Boss killed him with that. Listen, they don't realize that while going with somebody's husband, you may not be blessed. So you may have ruined. This may be your consequences for those actions that you've been taking for the last 10 years. You've been laying under somebody else's husband. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, you're going with somebody's husband, but you a single woman, but you won't leave that man alone. But you out here talking about you be selling for somebody else, but you're not putting the two together. You're not understanding that you're gonna get what you get from, first of all, because you fooling around with somebody else's husband. You know, that takes you out right there automatically. See, you're not understanding how this thing works. You're messing with someone else's husband, but you still think you're gonna be calling the shots out here in the the market. Come on, how do you do that? I've ran into that quite a bit, black man. And they even told me, but that's all I attract. Okay, wait a minute. How is it that you're only attracting married men? Okay, see, there's another issue. So see again, there's
something in you.
How about this? So I say, look, how about this? How about you step back, self-reflect, and figure out why you are only attracting married men? Because it's definitely something in you. And if you can show up 100%, then I bet you that man for you will show up for you. Because right now you giving off married man, you're giving off side chick vibes, and as long as you give off side chick vibes, then that's probably where they are keeping. Now, what that means, that could mean you leading with your cooch. That could mean that you're meeting in secretive, or are you just willing to go for anything? I don't know what that means or how it looks, but still, they don't realize that what they do is what's creating what they receive. They're not putting it all together. But again, I say it's not selling. I think that's exactly where you're getting exactly where you are. And, you're getting what you want for where you are. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying?
Well.
It's interesting. I'm telling you, I've been listening. I've been like, okay. So, they be like, so what I need to do? Hey, you need to self-reflect. You need to be honest with yourself. First of all, you're not the Coke bottle. You the 3-liter. Work on the 3-liter. Be honest. I'm not going to tell you the 3-liter. I need you to figure out that you're the 3-liter. Now, some men like it, but you got to figure out, is this what you like enough to put it out here and say, what is this going to attract? Do I want something? If I want tall, dark, and handsome, I'm probably not going to be the 3-liter, right? I'm probably going to be smart enough to be like, you know what? I'm going to have to shave this down a little bit. We even operate in dysfunction when we go get BBLs because we think that that's it. This is what they want. I'm there now. So all that stuff is dysfunction. And we think, okay, I do this, I'm going to receive this. And it still don't be working. And, but I'm still not with selling, black men, but I understand what you're saying. I definitely understand.
So we change it. It's not settling, it's dysfunction.
Right. Because, we got a lot of women out here that are high earning women. And, they're telling themselves that they would settle for a good man if he didn't make more money than them. Right. So that would mean we're measuring a man based on how much money he makes. And That would be it. How in the world could that be a settlement when a man is not measured by his money? Guess what, baby girl? That's all you could attract.
Yep.
This is what you're attracting right here. Look at this. This is what it is. This is what it is. You didn't get the high value man, or you didn't get the high earner for whatever reason. He didn't knock on your door, but this one did. Is he a good
Right.
man? Seeming like he's a very good man. What do you think? He's not good enough? Oh, okay. Get you a dog or a cat.
Well,
Hey, Bomb Cherry. Bomb Cherry said the world measures a man by his money. They absolutely do. They absolutely do. So anyway, we got that out of the way. Let's continue to listen to this conversation that they're having.
I think.
Why do y'all hold on?
I don't care who.
Why y'all rumbling and shit when I talk about acknowledging the quality men that are there? Hold on, not to cut you off. They said shit. Where the fuck is he in L.A.? Hey, somebody was like, "Girl, do they mean in L.A.?" Because I ain't seen not one. All right, go ahead.
So I think some folks across the board just want to stay bitter. I think it's a lot easier to say there's nothing out there than to say that whatever I have in here isn't leading me to where I want to go. Right? If everything you run across is some BS, because it's not to say the BS is not out there, then it mean that you don't got a lot of practice with healthy. You don't have a lot of practice and participation points with somebody who actually does meet the check marks. All you've been out there messing with is BS. You don't know how to show up with somebody healthy. You don't know how to relate to nobody that actually is emotionally intelligent and emotionally available. You ain't had no practice with that. So it sounds good to say that like it ain't none out there. You don't know what you're looking for. You wouldn't recognize it, you feel me? Like you ain't got no practice seeing that. Like, and so to continually say, oh, it ain't no good men out there, it ain't no good women out there, all the men do this, all the women do that. Bro, come on, you know your sample size ain't big enough for you to make that call, but it's a lot easier for you to point your finger at the people out there than it is to look in the mirror and say, I'm still fucking up.
Woo! Now, hold on, Richie.
Okay, so wait a minute. I got to go back a little bit because Beautiful Animated made a comment and I would love to read it. Black man, can you get it? Let me see if Mr. Boss can pull it up. They have, here we go, right here. Beautiful Animated, thank you so much for your comment. She says, at SBU Live, as a former side chick, what attracted married men my way is my honesty and friendship. They come for advice, help with studying, and I never asked them to leave their family. Now, Beautiful Animated, I know this is what you feel like is happened and was going on, but I don't know. I'm going to ask a man. Men, I need some comments. Black man number one, you're the first one to get the comment. Do you care about a woman coming to you asking for advice or going to her asking for advice? Is that what is this is what would attract you to a woman? As a man, you answer that for us. I don't know.
No, to be honest and straightforward with you, I'm not coming to study with you. I'm not coming to, in my mind, not what I'm giving out, but in my mind, I'm going to seek out what it is that you think that I want or what you want. I'm going to give you that so I can get between your legs. Men are sexually attracted to women. And when they see a woman that's sexually attracted, especially a woman that's strong-minded, or have any type of resistance, we're going to find that very thing that you like. Oh, you studying that too? Me too. Man, listen, I passed that. I can help you with that. And I know that if I use all those things that you like, that you're interested in, the chances of me having sex with you is great. So I'm not in it for that. I'm in it to manipulate you. I'm not in it for you to be my boo. But it's just simple. This is real talk. I wouldn't lie to you. We're not in it for that.
So Beautiful Animated, I have a lot to say, but I'm not going to say it. This is not I don't want to do that here on this live because it may come off way too harsh, and that's not what I'm trying to do. But you just innocent. You just naive to the game. But that's all I'm going to say. And we're going to move on. But I appreciate you sharing your story.
Easy money.
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, but we need to understand as ladies that we got to preserve ourselves. no matter how good it looked, no matter how nice they seem. The thing that we want to protect is ourselves and our value. You got to preserve yourself no matter what. No matter, I don't care how good it look. I don't care how good the conversations is. I don't care how interested they are. Until they put a ring on your finger, you need to preserve yourself, or you're going to be in a position to be used. Understand that you're going to be put in a position to be used. And since women are emotional and a lot of our emotion is tied up into our vaginas, we'll be thinking we're in love and cannot let go just because the conversation is good. And they'll just string us along. And they never wanted anything but the box. And as long as we go along with it, guess what, black man? They gonna go along with it. So I will definitely not, because I'm just very too straight and I don't want to be that way. But I appreciate you so much for letting us in on that. And thank you so much for being here always. Lots of translation. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I want to say, because easy money, I'm not easy money. Beautifully animated. If you're listening, when I said that, it's because not on your behalf, but what men perceive. Men, they want to attach themselves to everything that you like, so they can get what they need from you. It's this. I'm just opening up the book of the men, not on your end, but what men think, how men think. And so
we believe you totally. We believe you totally. Right. What you said. I think we believe what you think is what you said. We agree with that. We're not saying that we agree. But the reality is there's a side where you have accepted something to be what it is, but he's just telling you as a man. I can't tell you because I'm a woman. I'm an emotional person too. I could tell you exactly how I felt about it, but as a man, he's telling you what men see when they see women or how they deal with women. But we believe you. By no means do we think you're telling.
Some men are very good at manipulating vulnerability.
Say it again, black man. I ain't hear you.
Some men are very good at manipulating vulnerability.
You said that so well. I'm gonna have to stay around you a little bit more. I like the way you said that. I'm gonna have to learn.
Yeah,
that was a good way.
But easy money. I think when he put something in chat, he said people cheat because they can. It has nothing to do with their spouse. Oh Lord, have mercy, easy. You're a damn lie. You're a damn fool. Let me tell you why. Some situations, great situations. Men are in situations where they love their wives. They've been very sexually active with their wives since the first day they got married. Sex slowed down. Compliments slowed down. No rubbing of the feet. No rubbing of the bald head. She doesn't serve you anymore. She tells you everything that you're not. Tell you everything that about you that's not. She'll pick up everything that's negative and will not say anything about anything that's positive. And you'll keep dealing with that. And then one day you'll be at work just going through the motions as you always do, and little Becky or Brianna or Shikashay was gonna be like, hey, you know what, I've been watching, you are so handsome. Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. Day 5, hey, listen, I'm gonna get some lunch. Hey, did you want something? Yeah, I want something. Cool. Day 10, hey, listen, you want to go out and get some lunch? Day 19, hey, what you doing after work? They got this thing going on down. They got a little jazz thing going on downtown, right down the street from my job. You like jazz? I do. Okay, let's go to some jazz. Day 23, I had so much fun with you. I think that we should definitely, you should come by the house and just chill with me for a little bit. Just take a break. I know you're stressed out at home. I remember you telling me that the kids and your wife stressing you out when we was at the jazz bar. Day 30. Oh, it's over. And for some women, don't even take that long. It's over. That's how it works. So when you're in a situation and you are not filling your husband's cup, and it's just the cup just empty, it's just dry, ain't nothing. You're not filling your husband's cup, and it can go vice versa too.
Okay, black man, I never thought I would say this, but I'm with Easy on this one.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm with Easy. because all them days it took for you to get into the box, the new box, you could have been getting into the one you had at home. So your time spent should have been going home to your old box to figure out why you weren't getting it on a daily basis or what have you. We pour into our wives and our husbands. We don't pour into what's going on outside. He chose, or whoever this made up person is, chose to go outside the marriage. It had nothing to do with what that woman was or was not doing. He could have checked in and found out what was going on. Why am I not being filled? Ask the question. Don't go outside and get some. Ask the question. You went outside because you wanted to, because you could have got this box right here.
Now, I would like to present to the court.
This is not a relationship court right now, because I
Okay,
just
I'm sorry.
already
I thought we was there. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me pull out. Let me pull back out of there.
My gavel. Go ahead with your point, but I've already given it to you.
Let me say this.
I know what people say, but that don't mean nothing, because just like you just walked through 30 days of nothing but lusting, temptation, and fornicating thoughts that went through his and her mind, when all that could have been on his wife. That was a selfish move.
Baby, you look good tonight. Oh, man, I'm tired. I don't feel like you. Can wait till tomorrow?
Why you tired,
Okay.
baby? What? Guess what? All that conversation you had for the chick at work, you better go home and have it. Throughout the day, when you look at the chick and you be like, she look nice. You better text your wife, baby, you look real good. Text her again. But guess what? I bet you by the time you get home, it won't be no I'm sleepy. It won't be I'm tired. It'd be like, you've been a boss today. Come on in here. See, don't find excuses not to be into your marriage. Don't blame one on the other. Feed that marriage and get what you need for the woman that you asked to marry you. Them other tricks, the ones that give it away. Like you said, them vulnerable, the ones that are easily manipulated, the ones that swear you love them, but they give you all they got to give you is the box. And then when you realize, or when they realize you don't want them, they full of trauma. And then what? Your marriage is about to break up because of what? Because you wouldn't fool. You better go home.
43% of marriages, 43% of marriages, men are in sexless marriages. Explain that to me.
Because men are selfish and women are too. That's what it is. And I'm gonna tell you what else. Hold up. We don't know how to do relationship. This is what we're here for. We're here to say, don't give up on what you've already claimed. And that would be your wife or your husband. If your husband comes to you and say, babe, I really need to be with you. I don't know many women that ain't gonna be like, and he said it in the right way. She gonna be like, here I am, baby. And he putting all that extra attention in this chick at work that don't mean nothing. And he ain't doing nothing for the woman at home, maybe coming in late. What you coming in late? Coming in late, smelling like liquor because he been having these little extra. No. Stop it. Go home. Don't be selfish. Pour into that woman at home and see what you get out of it. Give 100% to your wife. She will give you 100%. And if not, you jack her. Not jack her up, but you be like, look, I've been putting in 100%. I need you to put in 100%. Let's have these conversations. Don't you be running out on me thinking you're gonna be getting that little 10% on the side.
But how many women you think security balls that are married? Let's talk about that.
Okay.
How many women you think are married that absolutely 100% know that sex is important to their husband?
They all know it, but they get selfish. We all know sex is very important to each other. I'm not denying, black man, I'm not denying anything that you're saying. And I actually know it goes on. But what I'm trying to say is it's a way to prevent this. I don't have to be so selfish that I gotta seek what is it, love or lust on the outside. Why I can't get it from the person that I'm supposed to love and lust after, which is my wife or my husband. You know what I'm saying? Why can't I get it here? That's the first thing that we do though, because we're selfish. Look, this is what I'm saying to you. Don't forget that you married just because you out here in this world. Remember, you need to do everything you can do to pull towards your wife and see if we built a better relationships with our spouses, we wouldn't have to, I wouldn't have to say this. We would have something to lose if the thing didn't work out. But see, now the way things are working out, ain't nobody got nothing to lose. 50% this and this and that. And she ain't taking my ear. She ain't doing this. She ain't doing that. Build a relationship with your woman or with your husband. Put everything in. So when and if y'all come into a bad time, you want it to work so bad that you make it work instead of running away to the vulnerable woman. That's a Coke bottle, not a Coke bottle, 3 liter that you're going to hurt her feelings because you really don't want her, but you know she'll sleep with you. Because all you're doing is
That's
releasing.
facts.
All you're doing is releasing.
I agree.
Now, why do that? You over here hurting another woman that's falling in love because guess what? She can't get her own man. You get what I'm saying?
I agree.
Because she hasn't done the work. But you over here hurting her, knowing full well all you was doing was releasing because you weren't going to leave your wife, your beautiful wife at home. You ain't getting ready to leave her, but you playing around out here in the street. Or she going on these girl trips and she's saying, you know, in order to go on this girl trip, in order to qualify, you got to be a hoe. So, you know, if you ain't ready for that, then what if all this gets back to him? This man at home who's holding it down, and he realizes that you went out there you maybe didn't even do anything, but when you went with a group of women that had that type of that mentality, man, I would be so mad. I would be so mad that my wife hung out with those type of women that thought like that and thought that was funny. Kiki. Well, yeah.
Well, you know, but think back in the day, security boss, or even now, how many women have well, I ain't gonna say you've been around, but how many women, even the audience, have you been around old aunties or say, girl, you know Billy Earl ain't touched me in 6 months, baby. You know he ain't getting none. I've been around women like that manipulate men with their vaginas, wives who use that in front of other people and say, oh yeah, you're gonna want some later. Watch and see what happens.
Yeah,
there are women out there that say that.
I can agree with that, black man. I don't know
They
what
use that against their husbands.
I can imagine. Listen, that would be what you call dysfunction. That's what it's got to be so norm that we don't know how to do relationships. You know, we talked about, you know, don't let your right hand know what your left hand doing. It's secret. Now, the Bible, that is actually in the Bible, but not to be used against someone. But before we go on, let me read these super chats because I want to hear what everybody is saying because it's just like, SBU this. John the Baptist says maybe 5% of people can settle. Everybody else just has overinflated egos. John, I'm with you. I'm with you. And y'all gonna have to help me with the settling part because I happen to think that's where they are in life, whether it's good or bad. Dr. Steele says, thank you, Dr. Steele, for your $5 super chat. He says, if you attract a married man, do you think about what these men intentions are? No, I think sometimes the ladies are just in that space where they need someone to care about them. It's like what Black Man said. They're very vulnerable and people will take advantage of a vulnerable situation. I think that's what happens. RBN, a real bravado network. $5 super chat. Thank you so much for that. Relationships have become transactional and we view each other as disposable. Hey, say it again. We view each other as disposable. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We don't care enough, you know. John the Baptist says, boss, you are fighting the wrong issue on this one. Help me out, John. What was the wrong issue? I don't think so. And I think what we're fighting is the possibility, cheating. And I think what it was is Easy was saying cheating doesn't have anything to do with the spouse. It has everything to do with the person that is cheating. I agree with that. I think Black Man says cheating is all to do with the spouse. And it's just a reaction to the relationship. Am I right about that, Black Man?
Right. If you go to therapy, the therapist is going to say, both of you have played a part in this adultery. Both of you have played a part. And they'll break down to you how both of you played a part. Somebody was getting something from somebody else and somebody wanted something from somebody else. If you go look up therapy.
I'm gonna tell you, need to get you another counselor. I'm gonna tell you why. Forget that one. Forget that therapist because you got the word of God, you got your Bible. Marriage is one man, one woman. Anything outside of that is adultery. It's a choice that you make. Now, if that therapist said both of you all have played a part in the demise of this marriage, I'm with you all day long. I'm like, you're right, I did it. You're right. I'm with you. We are. But I didn't make you go screw another woman. I didn't do that. You did that on your own.
Now, you're right. I agree with you. So you said, do you have the Bible? I agree with that 1000%. You know I do. And that's why we have to be, if we're going to live by the word, we have to live by the word and walk in it. Because the Bible says once you're married, the man's body belongs to the wife. The wife's body belongs to the man. And they should only temporarily not have sex with each other, only when she's on her menstrual, one, or you guys are praying and worshiping together too. It says soon after this, go back to having sex with each other to keep temptation away from your man.
I agree.
So there shouldn't be no sexless marriages if you a Christian.
I agree, but it also says you ain't supposed to be out there fornicating or having
exactly. I agree.
So
Yes, that's that too. Exactly.
But if you decide to do that, that's something you decided to do. I was wrong too. Now look, I was wrong in the fact that I kept it from you. If that's what we're talking about, I agree. We fell away from the word for whatever reason. Let's go back to it. That's what I just said. Go back to where you were supposed to be. Don't go on the outside trying to find some fulfillment. Go back to the blueprint and hey, call it into order. Just get back in order, y'all. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right. Because it says you don't right there at the end of the verse is lovely. It says, do not deprive your husband of his sexual desires.
Do not.
For depriving him will also bring about temptation.
Absolutely.
And we know temptation leads to cheating. So if you want your man, never, like going back to what my grandma said, never let your man leave a house full of something you could have took out of it.
Now, grandma's words was not in the Bible. We're talking about the Bible right now.
But the Bible, though, you're right. Exactly.
Grandma was right, but I'm saying you are exactly right, black man. I'm not saying the woman was wrong as in withholding, but the act of cheating should have been something that was dealt with within the marriage. Oh, I should say not cheating. If he was having those thoughts and feelings and temptation was getting at him like that, he was supposed to be like, babe, I can't go out today, man. We got to work this out because I'm having these thoughts and I'm having these feelings. I know that's a long leap, but what I'm talking about is being in a relationship. What you're talking about, cheating on your wife, is straight up dysfunction. And see, we're trying to get away from dysfunction because we done made it normal. We got to cheat. That's a man's nature to cheat, right? Now it's becoming a woman's nature to be cheat because she's so liberal, right? Ain't that what we telling ourselves?
Yeah.
Ain't that what we're saying? A man got to procreate. A man got to make some kids. He got to cheat. My God, what is wrong with y'all?
And you know what? T. Shaw said, BMU, what do you consider sexless? I hate I know people that's in these situations.
Don't matter.
And I'm serious. I don't clown them. I don't clown them. I don't say their name. I do pray for them though, because they need it. But I know people that I know a guy. He's older than me. That he said him and his wife only have sex on occasions, which will be anniversary. When she's in a really good mood and she tipsy, he can get it then. Around New Year's, because she's feeding off the other couples that come to their house for New Year's. So she feels the need to give him some then.
What you're saying is there are occasions where she feels really good about the marriage and about him, and she's willing to pour into him that way or to be submissive that way to him at those particular times. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah. But other than that, the sex is not consistent. He said he'll look up, it'll be 2.5 months, no sex.
Okay, so listen, I really do know and agree with you that this goes on, and there's a lot of different reasons why marriages are sexless. But if that was the case, and that also tells me that there's no intimacy in that marriage. So that means there's no relationship in that marriage. And if both parties really care, or even if they don't care, somebody needs to let them know that they need to care and they need to get back to basics and start loving each other again, figure out how we got here and reflect on the situation and what can I do to make sure that you and I are in an intimate relationship that carries us through to death. Because
you know what bothers me?
What bothers you?
That I know these people, and if he didn't security, I'm gonna tell you something. If he didn't tell us, me and the guys, this, when the guys are just talking, because we don't talk about hoes and all that ratchet. We talk about marriage, and if he didn't tell us, you would never think it. They're at every concert. They're out eating dinner together. Hell, I've been to some of the dinners they invited me and my wife to. We go and have dinner with them. They're all lovey-dovey, kissy. It's just that there's no room for the sex. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, like they be at these concerts and they be dancing all on each other. And, I'll be like, shit, wait a minute, why ain't no sex coming after this? I'm trying to figure it out. And he says she just is not, he said when it comes to sex, things have changed. He said like they've been married for 25 years.
Okay.
He said things changed after about year 14, 15. The sex just slowed down. It just slowed down. And I'm like, dude,
that sounds kind of medical to me. I'm not a
maybe.
doctor, but that sounds like a medical situation. I think that you should suggest to him, this is coming around the corner, right? I think you should suggest to him that they introduce some different things, not no people or nothing. I think that different ways of touching each other, having conversations, just being, just sitting in the bed with them, just to learn each other all over again. They may need to go to the doctor, both of them, and get themselves checked. So, because she may be going through menopause or whatever and has lost all her desire. He may have some ED going on also, and he ain't gonna tell you that. But they both need to experience a good feeling. And I just can't imagine that neither one of them wants to not feel good. You know what I'm saying? To make love to your spouse is a good feeling. You can have a good feeling from this. And it seems like to me that neither one of them have had that in a long time and they've kind of forgotten about it. So if he can get her to a point of good feeling and she can get him to a point of good feeling, I think they'll hold on to the good feeling. But I just think, it's they have downplayed it so much because maybe it might have been arguments in the beginning about it, and I just don't think we investigate those things. I think it's like a topic where people don't want to talk about because you can't be straight up with people. You can't be honest. It has some embarrassment to it. If she is, having, because, she can go get an IV bag in her and get her some vitamins and get all that stuff back in her body. She could be like ready to go. And then he could go do whatever, get him some little blue pills or whatever. And they could be ready to go. They can get them some toys if that's what they want inside their marriage. And look, they probably would never come out the bedroom if they just open themselves up to that. I just think it's one of them conversations they need to be like scared to have because people would judge them, or they think they would anyway. So listen, John the Baptist said, black man, stop being polite. Now is the time to be right.
Exactly.
$5 super chat.
Appreciate you, John.
But anyway, we're gonna continue with this video because I think we're gonna invite a couple of people up. You got time?
Absolutely.
All right. So let's get done with this video because it gets really good.
To follow what Trip was saying, I know for a fact when I was doing shit outside, I got a girl who was like, you know what, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm the problem there. So clearly I'm gonna have a problem. I'm doing the same shit whether she be doing it or not. If I came healthy and I felt like the situation was healthy, it's because I did my work first. So when I say that you're having issues finding a good person because you're not a good fucking person, that's not like some crazy thing to say. I know I was bad.
Can I push back? Can I push back? Can I push back a little bit? Now, this is not negating y'all point. It's just offering a conversation for a pocket of people. There are people that are healthy that's still getting played. There are women that know how to be faithful and still getting played. It's women that know how to communicate and are men and still getting played. So what are our conversations like for them?
I'm a lean back on what Randy said. If you are in a situation that is moved to the point that you get played or that you, now we know that there are people out there who lie and deceive. Absolutely. We know this. We know there are people who pull the rug out from under, but most times that's not what happened. Most times it's that we see this, but we decide that our emotions and the feelings that we got for the person are enough to look past it, and then we see this. And then we look past it because that's what comes with loving somebody, and then we see this. Woo. And that's what comes with loving somebody, and so we look past it. So what I'm saying is, how healthy were you if you didn't stand on your boundaries? Ow! How healthy were you if you didn't stand up for yourself? How healthy were you if you let another person play you? You feel me? How healthy were you if you saw the same thing you saw in the last 3 men or women, and you didn't stop and say, let me get off the boat, and you rode it into the ground again? Hold up, before we get riled up type shit. The reason I'm going in that direction is because a lot of times we think because we not the one who transgressed in the relationship that mean we healthy. Woo. just because you ain't the one that actually crashed the boat don't mean that you healthy, bro. Like, just because you ain't the one who fucked it up or the straw that broke the camel's back didn't come from you don't mean you healthy, bro. If you was in an unhealthy situation, that's like being in a room with a person that got a contagious disease and you never check yourself, bro. If you in an unhealthy situation for too
Which is
long,
a big
you're
problem.
unhealthy too. You have to be unhealthy to stay in it. So like I get, oh, he cheated, it was all him. No, it was you too, beloved. Like it was you too. Like, oh, she a liar, bro. She deceived, she be using me. Bro, it was you too. The first moment you knew you was getting used and you didn't stand up for yourself, like you became unhealthy with her. Like it was both y'all, bro.
Ooh, I got a feeling when you drop this link, boy, it's gonna be tough. This chat over here, they is not feeling that.
Look, I believe that goes back to that settling thing. I don't believe it. I'm thinking like that's where you were at. To me, that's what they're saying. That's where you were. This is what you attracted. You wasn't selling. This is how it goes. I don't see otherwise, black man. And then two, we already said it though. I think we're in agreement with the fact that when relationships break up, it's both parties that broke that relationship up. It's not necessarily one or the other. Now, it could be one that, like he said, broke the camel's back. The straw that broke the camel's back could have been done by her because she cheated or whatever, but it was always something building. But guess what? You stayed in that dysfunction because you knew she was that type of girl the whole time. Why was you there?
That's why I said both people play a part.
Oh yeah. No, I agree with you on that. I don't agree with I told you didn't say that, but I made you cheat. I didn't make you cheat. Because even if me and Mr. But I would be scared to death to go out and cheat with another man. I would be afraid that something gonna fall.
Oh, I know what's gonna happen.
Something gonna fall off me. It's crazy. I'm like, no, I don't want that to happen. Oh, Malarkey 5 from London. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. So we're gonna drop the link, and I want to hear what they got to say. But black man, you see what I'm saying? We got two situations here. One, we got a group of people saying that they're settling, and then we got another group of people who swearing they got their ish under control and they healthy and all of that, but they in this situation where it's dysfunctional. And it's so dysfunctional, they think it's normal, and they don't realize you just as dysfunctional as what you putting up with. And that's why I say we don't settle. We're in that situation. That's who we are. John, what's going on?
What's going on? How y'all doing this evening?
Doing good. What, John, what you talking about out there? Comment section
So,
world.
yeah, y'all got me on fire tonight. Y'all, this conversation's on fire. I ain't gonna lie. This is dope.
Thank you.
So I had a disagreement and agreement with you is SBU.
Okay.
I mean SB, and then BU, then Black Man. And I never I had one against you. When it comes to settling, right? This is why I agree with you, SB, security boss. Is because I think there are very few people who actually can settle. Black man, you gave an example of your aunt. And your aunt may be one that's in that percentage that can settle as far as a female and her looks and what she can obtain with a man. But if we actually go by the general population, most women can't settle because they don't have the looks to settle. Only your supermodels can settle. When it comes to like having the cachet to get what you want. Now, if you look at an average earning man, that's another man who you can't settle because you're an average earning man. You can't settle. You only get what you qualify for. Now, if you want these elite earning men, you're like top 10, 15%.
Right.
You settle because you're the cream of the crop. So there's very few people I think who actually have the ability to settle, and that actually can move the market. Everybody else is just delusional.
But John, how are you? Even if you're a high value man, 10% of earning, potential or whatever, how are you selling if this is the woman that you want?
Because I look at selling as like I have the option to get whatever I want to get.
Right.
And it's like, I guess let me think about this for a second. I don't want to get lost in the thought. I want to get lost in the sauce on this going back to black man's point of view, when he says that his aunt had the looks. She had the looks, so therefore she had the option to get whatever she wanted. Anybody else who had an option, you're not settling. You're only getting what you qualify for. So to answer your question, how are you selling if you're getting what you want? Well, I don't know if you're selling if you're getting what you want. I think the most important question is, you're getting what you qualify for? So it's like, for example, if you are a 3, whether you're a man, if you're a 3 in earning potential, or if you're a woman 3 based on your looks, you're not settling. You're only getting what you qualify for. You don't have enough to settle for anything. So if you're average or below average person, you're never settling. You're only getting what you qualify for.
So let's play it like this. Okay, so everybody knows Nicki Minaj, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Nicki Minaj married this man that has been in prison for 10 years or whatever, and he seems to be like a bad apple, right? Now, would you say Nicki Minaj is settling?
No, because based on how we judge men and how we judge women, we judge. Okay, I don't know. I think about it. I don't know what kind of value does that man earn. I don't know his paycheck, so I can't answer that question. But I do know Nicki Minaj is not an attractive woman.
Okay.
She's not attractive.
Okay, so guess how I judge it? I judged it. I took the money off. I take money off the table because I think most people, I should say, not everybody, but most people have potential to make money. And I know money comes and goes. So I'm gonna take it off the table. I'm just gonna deal with people, their character, their personality. And that's about it for me. So in my mind, I feel like Nicki Minaj got who she want, because in Nicki Minaj, that dysfunction that showed up in that man that put him in jail for 10 years, she carries that with her. But she's a woman, and we already know women don't have to go to prison for the bad things they do that could be equivalent, or they get out of it, or she might have to go a year or 2. So I say Nicki got who she wanted, even though on the outside, since Nicki's a millionaire and, been doing business a lot, we would say to ourselves, hey, this money should make you have more options. And it maybe would, but that's still not going to change the person that Nicki is. So she's still going to attract that person that she is. So how is she selling? Because that's what she wanted. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, so I get what you're saying, but the problem with the conversation is you took a general conversation, made it personal. And what I'm trying to say,
I wasn't trying to make it personal. I was just trying to give.
What I'm saying is that I'm not saying you made it personal to yourself. I'm saying you said how you judge it. This is how you would look at it.
Yeah. That's when I say, so because I'm having trouble with you all saying settling. So that's why that was my example, or my meaning for selling. Because I'm just trying to get an idea from you all what selling is. See, that's what it means to me. But because I don't know otherwise, because to me, it sounds like a negative thing, like somebody's losing something. So I'm trying to make it make sense for me. That's why I used her as an example.
Okay, so and that's what I was trying to say. That's what I was actually making. When you use the word settle, you said if you're getting what you want, and then you said this is what it means to you, and you just started 2 or 3 things what it meant to you. Okay, so now what I'm saying is, that's when you made it personal, because when you look at a general stance, the general population, we all know that for women is looks, and for men is money and value.
Okay.
The principle that comes with it, and that's right. And this will we base the market on is women's looks, and men's earning potential and value. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing that women offer. We just saying this is basically what we're talking about. And so if a woman has below average looks, which I think Nicki Minaj does, without all the makeup, without all the other stuff that goes with it, without all the enhancements that she did to get her mouth fixed and all this other stuff, she was a below or average looking woman.
Right.
Her money doesn't make her more valuable to a man.
It does. Yes, it does.
Okay, I know you got your principle, but let me stay with the general population. Let me stay with the general population of men, because most men are looking for a woman, and he threw me off track when he did this, but I knew exactly where he's going to go.
I don't know why y'all
most
men,
hold on, cause listen, okay, if a woman, okay, let's take, okay, I'm gonna go there since he brought it up. If a woman has money, and Nicki Minaj has money, but is her attitude submissive? The way she carries herself, does a man want a wife out there starting up on stage, showing everybody the stuff? I don't even want to talk about the stuff she's doing videos, but y'all know what I'm getting at. I if she had no money but was submissive, she would mean more to me than having money and being unsubmissive.
I
All
know,
women are submissive.
but
Say
that's
that
such
again.
extremes. Like money matters to men, especially the new generation. I get the old guys might say money don't matter to y'all, but no, we're not taking broke chicks anymore. That's just what it is. You gotta come with something more to the table, right? I'm gonna pay these bills and we're gonna invest your money so I can get to the next level. Like I just don't see it no more. I get it. It might have worked back in the 70s and the 80s, but the young dudes say, nah, you need to be getting to the bat just like I am, so we can invest our way out of our current situation.
Okay, so Eve, man, you go into a different subject, but my question would be this, and I'm gonna get back to what I was gonna say. Do you value money in your woman more, or do you value her submissiveness?
Why do I have to choose?
No, which one do you value the most?
I think I value money most. How about that?
Okay, then we can't have this conversation. I'll move on. Okay, so because you're not talking what I'm talking about.
Hey, Eat a Man, what's going
How
on?
you doing?
So
I'm
the
gonna
second
finish.
point I want to talk. Oh God, my bad. I didn't
Okay,
cut you
no,
off.
no,
It's
you're
me.
right, because that was what you didn't agree with me on. Because I'm totally wrong. Because when I say settle, I'm thinking. See, I think about life, and I'm forecasting for life to do us part. I'm thinking marriage. You all are just you're thinking dating market, and you know what you're available for. But even with that, can't you, like, you might meet an all right looking man today, but there's always a better choice if they just held out. Is my thoughts to what you were saying also. We can always wait a little bit to get a better choice, don't you think?
I think the longer you wait,
Yeah,
especially for a woman,
I
the
got you.
less options you have.
You're right. That's true.
Because your beauty does not increase as you get older.
I don't know about that, John.
But I let me say this. I
Okay,
got you.
let me say
Wrong.
beauty. Let me say, hold on. You can look good. You can look good into your 40s and 50s and 60s.
Right. I got you, John. I'm just kidding.
But you don't, but no woman, and not even no man looks as good as they do when you're 20.
I don't know. Men, y'all get better at age because y'all become more distinguished looking. Men tend to look like babies, look like young men, really young for a longer period of time. A woman can come into hers much earlier, but I understood what you were saying.
So I want to go on
Second point I
record.
wanted.
Let me go ahead and go on record. Nobody in the world settles. 0%. Let me at least say what I mean before y'all disagree.
I could be your mama, Eat a Man. I think you just so much like me. This is ridiculous.
Nobody settles. Let me tell you how it works. Outside influences think that you can do better. Your mama think you can get a better man. Your auntie think you can get a better man, but you didn't think you could get a better man. That's why you got that man. That, like, I promise you, anytime we hear this word settling, it's always somebody from the outside of the relationship saying, hey, you can do better than the person that you with. It is not settling. It's not. Because if you thought you could do better, most people don't say, I can do better, but I'm gonna take this person. Nobody even process those things in their mind. So when people say that they settle, absolutely not. They looked at that person on that date and said, this is the best I can do. Let me go ahead.
I like this woman, or I like this man. It wasn't even this the best I could do. I like this person. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't I would like him better if his hairline was a little bit longer. I don't think they do that. No,
they don't do that. What they do is they know I'm gonna go to the extreme and say, hey, this is special, and I'm talking marriage. I'm not talking about boyfriend, girlfriend, but it's no man in his right mind that says I can do better, but I'm gonna take up. If you ask any married man,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest, E-Man, and I'm gonna go and put myself out there. When I first met my wife, I was 21, she was 19. And my wife was very attractive at 19. Based on the standards I just gave you, she could have done better than me.
No, see, that's outside though. We need her perspective. That's the point that I mean. See, cool from an outside person, but you never ask the person who made the decision. I bet you if you asked your wife that, she said, no, I thought he was the best I can get at the time. Now we go 20 years later, she said, man, after I can look back and see all the other guys, she might think different. But if you take somebody into when they're making the decision, they say that's the best they could do. Because nobody just takes second best. We don't think like that, and we're not programmed like that.
I don't even think they would.
So
I don't even think she would say that. I would think she would be like, "He the one I wanted." It wouldn't be
okay,
anything else.
so let's just be real. In the moment, I'm gonna be honest. I was smarter than my wife in the moment. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm just gonna tell the truth about it.
Okay.
And I'm smarter at this situation even right now. When I was 21 and she was 19, me understanding how attractive women are and what attractive women can get at her age, her youthfulness, her womb, and knowing everything how life works. I know at that time, whether she want to admit or don't, I know she could have done better than me.
Hmm.
Now,
No, she couldn't have. I promise you,
Okay.
Judge, she would be married to Mr. Johnson if Mr. Johnson was the option. He wasn't an option. Like,
okay,
I
so
promise you, women don't think that
okay.
way.
No, listen. I'm gonna tell you why you. Okay, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, Ian. I'm not saying you're 100% wrong, but this is why I say I'm smarter than my wife. I made sure I limit her options. I snatched up before she realized there were more options out there. So you're right. The options wasn't there because I limited the options the exposure that she had to society by grabbing her early before the world had more to see, before she had more experience with the world. Because I knew that when she hit the market, the options are going to be for her and against me.
But I think you are the best option. See, you might not think too highly of yourself, but it's not too many people who say they have this business. She could have got somebody who looked better than you, who had more money, but what does that profit her if they was divorced in 4 years?
Right. What were they lacking?
And I won't disagree with you on that. What I'm saying is like, okay, so we're saying this, I'm still going by the argument I made the first time. If you look at when women are the most ready for the world, right? It's when they're youngest, when they're the most youthful, when they're the most healthiest for kids, when they're the most in shape. And I recognized at that time that she was one of the most attractive women. She was in shape, physically fit. I mean, was a dime, and intelligent, and was a housewife material. Now, what made it easier for me to get to her was she came from a small country town, and when I met her, she was just leaving high school into the military, and I scooped her up within the first couple of weeks. Now, if I'd have waited 3 or 4 years, guess what she would have had?
But you're not
More
listening.
exposure.
You're not listening. Her best option when you scooped her up was you, not 4 years later. For everybody, we could take any person, say 4 years later when they're wiser, they're better, they could have chose different. They should if they got more wisdom. They should choose. I shouldn't be making decisions at 19 that I'm making at 30, 33. I shouldn't be making those same decisions. So we agree that if you give her 4 years wisdom, time in this world, that she might make a different decision. But at 19, you was the best option.
I follow what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I follow your point. I won't debate you on that much more. I see what you're saying.
So hold on for a minute.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on 1 second. I want John to go and let us know what he had against black men. I want to know what that was.
Actually, that one was against you. I mean, I guess
that first one was against me, right?
That was against black men, because black men felt like everybody had the ability to settle. I think he said everybody had the ability to settle, and he used his aunt as example. I think your aunt had the ability, and that's why I disagree with him. The second I agree with black man on is that when you're talking about when men cheat, it's both parties are involved in it. I agree with him on this one.
When you say both parties are involved in it, tell me what you mean.
So if a man steps out, it can be part of the wife's fault too.
No.
And I know that's why you disagree.
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. Now, if there's a marriage issue or if there's a relationship issue, I do agree with you that she's just as responsible. But I'm talking about the actual act of him cheating, setting it up, entertaining another woman. He or she, even if she did it, the individuals that cheated, they're responsible for their decision to do so, because all that pouring into or creating an environment and getting the situation all good and ripe for the cheating could have been done. You could have put that work into your marriage and made it work.
So Go
So
ahead,
I'm
Joe.
not saying, and I'm not trying to condone cheating at all. But I do understand what Black Man was saying, and what the counselor said, and the example that he gave, I thought was a very great example. And this is why I agree with that. This is why I agree with the example. Because if a man goes out and works, brings home the money consistently for 30, 40 years, we don't care how he feels. And he doesn't even care how he feels. He just consistently does it day in and day out because he knows it's his responsibility. Even if he's sick, most men can have cancer and will work until the day they die because they know it's their responsibility. If the bills don't get paid, my family's gonna go without. And so therefore they will work themselves to death to get the job done to provide for their family. Women need to take that same attitude when it comes to sex with their husband.
Well, I can agree with you. I agree with all
ahead.
that, but that's the problem. See, that's the title of today's show. We have adapted or adopted some dysfunction, and we actually live in it as though it's our norm. And that could be one problem. That's what we're trying to fight back against, but we can't do it unless we call it out. That example that Black Man gave, as far as you going back to the scriptures in the Bible that says you don't withhold from your spouse, this is all true. And if this is what our marriage is based on, we need to go back to that. And if that man who's out there working 40, 30 years of his life, excuse me, he is the priest over the home. He can't let his house fall apart because his wife doesn't want to do something. We got to figure out what's going on within our home by not stepping out. But when you step out and you add a different spirit, I'm going to say different spirit or element to your marriage, that's not putting your marriage back together. That's not getting you the sex you want, even though we might think it is. It's causing more chaos and more confusion. I'm saying if we want marriages and we want marriage relationships to actually work, we have to continue to build within our marriage. Now, you could go out and do whatever you want to do. But I'm saying if the marriage relationship is what you want, and you can't allow yourself to get selfish, because that's not a part of a marriage relationship. You have to be with your spouse. That's all I'm saying.
So to that point, I would say this. The scripture recognizes that how dangerous it is for a woman to withhold sex from her husband. And if she chooses, and so what's happening today in time is, okay, I want to add two things I want to add to this one. It's the scripture that backs us up. But then also what make this conversation counterproductive is that we're not living in scriptural biblical times and people are not trying to live by the Bible anymore. Because most women now, they are tired because they're working outside the home or they're working inside the home.
I'm glad you brought that up. Another dysfunction.
And so the point I'm making is if a husband says something about his wife not working, she will argue him up and down that this is my purpose. This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
No, John, nobody cares about that. If I'm married to a man and he's the head of my house, he's head of the household. He's going to dictate what is good and conducive for our marriage. If me working 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, or whatever keeps me from giving him good sex, then he's going to have to say, babe, I need you to work 5 hours a day. Or I need you to work only 2 days a week, or whatever it is, so he can get good sex, so we can be good in our marriage relationship. See, that's the problem. Nobody wants to make those hard decisions. We just want to operate in dysfunction and blame one another for what's not working.
It ain't got nothing to do with work.
Right, it ain't got nothing to do with no work.
I
agree with you, man.
SB, hold on.
I'm saying work because of that example he gave, because women do say a lot of times that they're tired, and if working outside the home is what's making them tired, let's take all the excuses away, because I want the man to determine how this household should be ran, so we don't have to live in dysfunction. And I don't really care about what's going on in 2023. It all depends on what you want in your home. How
John,
you want your home to be
So
ran.
let me say to John. Hold on, let me say to John real quick.
I'm losing my signal.
John,
can y'all hear me? I'm losing my signal.
Yeah, we can hear you. No, go ahead.
We can hear you. I just want to say this real quick, John. I think today is just I know E-Man probably gonna say the same thing. I just think it's a lot of damn excuses. And what it is that if my grandmother and my grandfather could work in a hot field, working turn roll 16 hours a day and have 22 children, that's a lot of sex. Yeah. I don't understand how the women back then had it harder than the women have it today. You're at a desk. Some women are working from home. A lot of them are. A lot of women going into the office. You're working in the air conditioning. You're wearing nice clothes, right? and you're tired. What about these women who churn milk out of cows all day and wash clothes in a barrel all day and had 16, 17 kids and was giving that man their sex every day? Like, it's just a bunch of excuses.
It is a bunch of excuses. You're dealing with a different type of woman. Not only that, those women back there were much more, they were healthy women. They ate the food, they planted the food, they ate the food, they hunted food, they brought it home and they cooked the food. We don't do that now. These women, we as a society, we eat terrible, we live terrible, everything is microwavable. You don't know if it's killing you or not. I really don't know. I'm not trying to help with the excuses. If these women say they're tired. I'm telling you, take the excuses away. They are different than my grandmother, your grandmother. They're different. This is point blank. I'm not trying to judge their tiredness. And also, when we're having these families, let's be more intentional about it. Back then, they were not intentional. If this woman can't handle 2 kids, don't give her 2 kids. Maybe need to do 1 every 5 years, whatever situation may be. But take the excuses away, have the conversations, whatever it may be, because nothing supersedes the marriage. And that's what you want to work. So if we make that our concentration, you can't go wrong if you make it your concentration. But if you allow yourself and your wife to be spread out amongst all these different things that go on, they got to be a part of everything. Y'all already know that. You got to be a part of everything. If that's what you do, then your marriage may suffer. You may not get the sex you want. It may not be about you. If you're not putting in the time or you're not having the conversations, y'all not understanding each other, then you're not going to have the sex you want. This is just the time that we in. Now, I'll give you 2023 on that, but that too can be made correct. But we don't have to live in a dysfunction just because it's going on. We don't have to do everything everybody else is doing. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I just go ahead, E-Man. Go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say. Go ahead.
I think we're talking about 2 different relationships. So we have the one relationship where the woman is giving her husband access all the time, and that guy just decided that he wanted to step out for whatever reason, right? Then we have that's kind of what I hear you saying, security boss, that he have access to this woman and he just want to be a dog for some reason, right?
Yeah, he's stupid.
Then we got another one who don't have access to his wife, and then he might be bringing it up. He might be talking. He can't reason with her for whatever reason on why he should have sex, and he steps out of his marriage. So these are 2 different separate people, right? So I want to focus on the person that actually steps out on his marriage, right? So with that person, right? I think it's really important that men before marriage says, hey, for me to be monogamous, I need to have unlimited access to your body. Like, I need to have that. And the reason I believe is both parties. If she stopped giving me access to her body and we have already made an agreement for me to stay monogamous, I need this access. Now we're both participating on what I'm doing. I'm 100% accountable for my own actions, but she's contributing to the things that I'm doing too, because she's putting me in a vulnerable place to operate in temptation, right? And I know most women won't look at that because they say he's just supposed to carry it. But I have a good friend who's been married for 6 years now. And I know that he only gets sex on holidays. He be trying to make up holidays. He be like, I know one too.
I know one too.
He only gets sex on holidays.
Happy Easter, baby.
He be just trying to make it up as he goes. He was like, hey, bro. He came. He was like, we're celebrating my half birthday. You know, I want to have a half birthday in 6 months so I can get some butt, you know.
Okay, but hey, man, that's a problem. That is big enough to investigate, in my opinion. He shouldn't accept that to be the way it is. He should be like, babe, because if she can get on his half birthday, why every Monday should be a holiday? Why? Because it's another Monday we lived.
I agree with that, but so what should a man do if his wife says no? Because we already heard that he can't just take it. You know that he can't do that.
We're not talking about that.
No. I'm just saying. But
I'm agreeing.
What is his option? Especially if you're a person that don't believe in divorce. Like you don't believe in divorce. That's not an option. So what is his option if he can't get it from his wife?
Okay, so this is the deal. This is where the dysfunction come in. He has to go to his wife and figure out what is the issue. What is wrong? Why are you telling me no? I just need to know. Because I got to tell you something. There is some other dysfunctions going on. There's some other issues in this marriage to where this woman is pushing this man away. It's a big issue with her. He needs to identify. They need to work through whatever that is. There is something there. I have no idea what it is, but there is something
I know
there.
what it is.
But security boss, like I said earlier, remember that situation I told you about that couple? They go out together, they travel together, they dance it on the dance floor together, they go to dance classes together. When you see him, you see her, they're all happy. When it comes to sex, she's just she doesn't have the drive like she did 14 years ago.
Y'all take it from a woman, because you can't talk to your wives or you can't talk to the people that are involved, because it's listen to what I'm telling you. There is something going on, whether it's a medical situation, whether it could be now remember, women are not men. Things are not just logical the way they are with you guys. So it could be a medical situation. He may be too rough with her. He may not speak to her correctly. He may be disrespectful. I don't know. I'm not saying it is. Don't listen to what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you what it is, because I know. I went to investigate.
No,
I do know. Listen, I know y'all friends don't talk, but we talk.
Who told you?
I wish my phone was right now.
My wife.
Who told you what it was?
My wife.
Your wife told you?
Because they talk.
Okay. I could hear that, but I was going to say, if he told you, I can't hear it. Okay.
Is it okay? Didn't have no idea.
Is it okay? Is it okay to talk to tell?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
He don't watch this, and he
let's
old to
hear
have
it.
social media. Ain't worried about him. Like, he's the type of person you would never know, because he's never on social media. Like, this is not what he did, right? He just worked all the time. Truthfully and honestly, she don't desire to have sex with him because she's not sexually satisfied in sex. So it's more of a chore for her, right?
Okay, so there we go. That's a problem, but that could be fixed.
I get it.
What that means is they need to explore. Okay, she may be a person that is not orgasmic, or she may have not met. Her whole body ain't been figured out yet. So that's something that he has to take time to figure all this out. But guess what? She probably would never tell him that, because it's probably embarrassing. So sometimes you got to slow down and listen to what people are saying. So that's why so it's a chore for her, because she's not having that good feeling. She's not getting it. So back up. And he needs to figure out how to get her this good feeling. So let's entertain this thing. And she may be too shy to talk to him about it. He might be scared to come in the house with some stuff. Who knows? Yeah.
So I think what it really comes down to. So this is my opinion. It's your responsibility to make sure you get yours. And I'm great. I was in the military. I take great directions. If you give me directions, I get you to where you need to go. But if you didn't give me the directions.
That may work throughout your 20s and early 30s, but by the time you get 35, you're gonna have to figure some other stuff out.
But first of all, you should know. Like, you should know your woman. If you've been with your woman alone, I just can't imagine myself not knowing how to.
I be faking.
No, we see that you got to have those rules.
I have to jump in this one. Let me.
You tell me I'm trash. Like, I told my wife, if I ever get trash, I told my wife this. If I ever give her some trash penis, please let me know, because I don't have an ego. I don't have an ego.
So listen,
I don't have an ego when it comes down to that.
I need to let y'all know something. Women are totally different from you all when it comes to sex. Y'all need to hear that and understand. You might need to think your most extreme when you're dealing with your women. Y'all think logical, that just because this and this and this, and it's not that. It could be something simple as I need him to brush his teeth. He might have a body odor that I don't like. It could be something that's real simple, but women won't mention it because it's an area where they just don't want to go. They haven't built that relationship with their husbands where they can be that open, and they'll push the man away for just small things, and then it'll become a chore. Like what you're talking about, either man, if he explores her and brings some things into their relationship that they both can enjoy, that woman be swinging from the chandeliers because she hasn't felt this yet. You get what I'm saying?
Like, you gotta be open for that.
Black man. This is why I say, black man. This is why I say earlier you was being too nice right here on this conversation. You was being way too nice, because Miss Boss, I have much respect, right? But you list out several excuses of why she can't have sex and perform.
No, I'm just saying maybe something wrong. Even before you get to the medical stuff, medical is probably like 10% of the situation. 10%. I mean, 10% of the time. And that's mostly after your 40s and 50s, maybe to your 50s and 60s. But even before then, let's talk about the man. The man spent 50 years
day in and day out. Sickness, health, good days, bad days, feel like he didn't feel like doing it. He went to work, did everything he's supposed to do. No excuses. He did it. Matter of fact, if he lost his job and lost everything, he didn't make no excuses for it. We blamed him 100% of the time, and he took 1% of the blame for it with no excuses and fixed it. All I'm saying in this conversation is women need to take that same attitude. We don't need whether y'all are logical or not.
Compare going to work to having sex.
You know, you're right, because going to work is 8 to 18 hours a day. Sex is maybe 20 minutes 3 times a week.
I don't
You're
know.
right, you can't compare.
Okay, but what I'm saying to you, that's a woman is a woman. That's a whole being. It's a person. She has feelings, emotions, and all of that. And it's a way to get what you want. Now, if you take that type of demeanor or attitude towards it, you probably will get. So you're trying to make it a duty for her too, and she's not supposed to withhold.
It is a duty.
It is.
It is a duty.
Listen to what I'm saying. Exactly. It is a duty, but as long as she's doing it and she's making it a duty, then you have to like it. If it gets to a point where you're like, you acting like I'm making you do something, or if you start complaining about the way I'm giving it to you, then now we have another issue. Older people, our grandparents and our grandmothers, they did it as a duty. There was no relationship there. See, that's the difference between them and what we're doing now. For us, in order for our marriages to be good, we have to have relationships. That's the dysfunction they lived in. Guess what? They did a whole lot of stuff, but this was your duty because you had all these kids, you had to raise these kids, and we had that kind of sex, like color purple stuff. That's not what's going to happen now. Right now, they're having relationships. You know, that was definitely transactional. What they're doing now is we need relationships, because if we're not meeting each other to become one, then it's not going to happen. It's going to be just like Eda Man just said. She's feeling like it's a duty, and she's not being sexually satisfied, because we're supposed to be for each other. And that could be a result of having sex before marriage.
Here we go. Now, I was just going to say it, because a lot of those women back in the day that got married, that had all them kids, they were virgins when they got married. And some of these women talking about, my husband can't hit that spot. He can't hit it because when he was younger, he was able to hit it because he had because he could. But you know, when you can do a U-turn with a school bus in that thing, you know, you got to be willing. You got to be able to move around a little bit up in that thing, trying to hit that spot. A lot of these women have parked school buses in that thing their whole life and expect their husband to come in there like Hercules and tear that big ass wide thing up. It's crazy.
But wait a minute.
And then on top of that, you actually want that man to go to work 80 hours a week, then come home and then work another 80 hours to entertain you. Come on.
No, listen, I don't know the situations. I know the situations are different, but if he going to work 80 hours a week, he ain't got no business out there cheating. Because we're talking about a cheat man. We're talking about a cheat man, right?
So listen, hold on. Let me
hold on. Wait a minute. I need somebody to answer that question. We're talking about
okay. So what we're saying is, what we're saying now is, this is why it's both parties' fault for the cheating, because he's taking this duty serious. Not
if he's working 80 hours a week. Not if he's working 80 hours a week. If he's working 80 hours a week,
if it takes 80 hours a week to provide for the family,
that's what you said. That's what you said. I don't believe that, but okay. I don't believe that.
You don't think there's men that work 80 hours a week because they have to?
There might be some, but not because they have to. Not because they have to. I think that there are men who like to work, and they work 80 hours a week because they want to. And I don't think.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, look at the trucking profession. The trucking profession is based on you working 60 to 70 hours a week.
Exactly.
Okay. So are you saying that they did that? You saying they did that and opted that profession due to the fact that they had a wife and several kids, or were they already in that profession and then took on a wife and then had the kids?
It could be either scenario. Whether it's the profession they chose, or they chose it after they got married, before they got married, whatever the case is, that's the profession they are in.
Okay.
Because I want to ask Security Boss, do you think it's the woman's responsibility to know her own body?
I think it is her responsibility to do that, but I think that a lot of women were never taught to know anything about sex or their own bodies.
So I think that's the problem. I know we try to say it's the man's fault and he can't make her come. Cool, but a woman.
I wouldn't say that.
I got it, but I'm not saying you, but I'm saying that Women
That's the
should
running
know.
narrative, security boss.
Hmm?
That's
That
the
is
running
the
narrative amongst women. That is the running narrative. That
That the
it's on
man-
the man to cause her to climax. Whereas if a woman knows her body during coitus, she knows what to do for herself so that she can enjoy it as well. If a woman knows her body, but no one ever teaches a woman to learn their bodies. No one teaches, no one teaches people anything anymore as far as relationship skills or how to get even how to get along. So why are they teaching about sex? They don't.
Well, going back
People avoid the subject.
Well,
Parents
going back
do.
to what John just said, John says a man ain't got time to put in to be helping a woman figure out where they're gonna climb.
Well, I disagree with John on that one.
You should. No, hold on, because she misconstrued what I was saying. What I'm saying is your job as an adult to know your body.
Okay.
It's not you. You should tell me about your body, because like I'm an adult, I can tell Martha about my body. She's an adult. She can tell me about her body. This is what I like. So now when we come to the table, you tell me what you like and what you don't like. Don't make me spend 70 hours with something you should already know.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is it's a whole adult world out there. There are a lot of women, probably men too, that don't know nothing about it. It's like just say if she was born in a Christian household with went to a holiness church and everybody around her went to church and the women, wore long dresses. They ain't talk about no sex. They're not going to know that. They're not going to know about a way to explore each other. They're not going to even be comfortable with exploring each other's body. It could, it could be somebody could have been violated in their youth and it may not even have come out yet to make them real, prudish in bed or what have you. You don't really know. That's a
Miss
part
Boss,
of being
Miss
married.
Boss.
But we know
Miss
our
Boss,
body. We know how. Like we
Miss
come
Boss,
every
we live in a
time.
day. Hold on, E. Miss Boss, we live in a day and
We
time.
know.
We live in a day and time where sexual promiscuity
Liberation. Okay.
is liberation is rampant.
Right.
These chicks is not waiting until they get married to have sex now.
I agree with you. Now we talk about these chicks though. I'm not. These women ain't get married though. Those women.
What I'm saying, the majority of society right now, if they get married or don't get married, there's no reason for a grown person not to know their body intimately by the time you get married. If you had a couple that was virgins when they got married, maybe we can have this conversation. But we know the statistics and data. We know the statistics and data in this situation do not support that these women and men don't know their body now.
Okay,
Yes, it does.
Hold on. Mandrell tell me that he didn't come with his girl. I would say, how you didn't do it? Like I would put it on Mandrell. I'm like, bro, that was your responsibility.
It's all about.
But here's the thing.
Hold on, real quick, Mandrell. I need 10 to 15 seconds. If it also think about this. The other night we watched the doctor. I forgot his name. Damn it, we played the clip. He already mentioned. He said in 2023. Between the ages of 12 and 14, girls averaging bodies between 8 and 10. You think that same girl at 12 to 14 years old that got those 9 and 10 bodies, do you think that when she gets 34, she's going to be able to really, because sometimes it's intimacy for a woman to come, right? That's what women say. If you're intimate with me, you making love to me, we have this, we're with each other, we're bonding with each other. Do you think that's going to play a huge part, right? With a 14-year-old girl and already been with 10 boys or 5 boys, 5 men. By the time she get 30 and get married, you don't think that's going to play a part in the sex and how she feel and how she come and all this other stuff? It's going to play a part.
Okay, here's the thing: why people still don't know their bodies because.
Hold on for 1 second. Let's set a baseline. So, because I'm hearing what you're saying, and I agree with you. But John the Baptist, how many years are we going to go back? Are we going to go back to 1980? Are we going back to 70? Or how far are you going to go back to say that women should know their bodies? Because right now, if we say 2000, 2020, absolutely. Now we're dealing with this. Y'all got women are having sex with women. So obviously they know their bodies. That's a fact-finding day. So we're not talking about that. Women now and men now, they're doing what they do.
No, they don't.
So the conversation.
They still. Hold on.
Let's just set the baseline first.
Okay,
Man, let's set the baseline. How far you want to go back to where you say they now know their body?
What I'm saying.
Well, here's the thing. I would say they still don't know it. They still put it on men.
Oh wow. Okay.
They still don't. That's what I'm saying. No one ever taught them to explore their bodies or get in tune with their bodies. Let
Clean it up.
let alone how to enjoy sex. No one's teaching them. No one's even telling them. Now I get it. You know, with the advent of the internet, this information's out there, and then they talk to their friends. Their friends say this, that, and the other. But if you don't know what you're looking for, you don't even know what you're looking for. How are you gonna find anything?
Wait a minute.
Because here's the thing: you talk to women today. The first thing they say was they didn't climax with this guy. They don't look at themselves. They always put it on him. When in fact, get to know your body. Hold on, and when get in fact, you talk any age range. Pick one. 50s.
Okay, so John the Baptist, what age range are you talking about, John? Were you saying that by now they should know? What age range are you talking about, John?
Okay, I don't know why age range is relevant to the conversation. I'm saying if you're an adult.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because I know for a fact that some women that were born in the 80s did not have the exploration of sex or the birds.
Born in the 90s and early 2000s, they don't know it.
Okay, so okay, so I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna answer a question because I don't think even if you go back to the 80s and 90s, I still think it's still relevant.
I said 80s. 90s, I think we're becoming more liberal, and women sex talks and all of that were being more
70s. Women were liberated in the 70s and 80s. So I mean, even then they was having sexual liberations. That's when it really broke out, was in the late 60s and 70s. But
I disagree with that.
To act what you think?
I'm a woman.
What do you think? What you think? Lollapalooza was about? And
no, I'm not saying. We're talking about as a whole. We're talking about as a whole.
Yeah,
women as a whole, majority of women
Woodstock.
knowing their body.
Thank you. Woodstock
is not the majority of women. Come on, y'all.
No. I'm talking about the time period. The time period.
Yes,
sex liberation was getting. So as a whole, that's when women begin to be more exploratory with their body and having sexual liberation, taking their bras off to signify how free they were. Then I want to add this context to it. Then I'll be quiet because I know Mandrill trying to get in here too. I will add this component too. Women can never see something before, never know what a job market looked like. But then by the time in the last 20, 30 years, so what has happened? Without knowing what a job market looked like, they found a way to go to school, get educated, get bachelor's, master's, and PhDs, and now become run corporations in a short time of 40 years, but still can't figure out their body.
So do you think, this question is for Mandrill. So Mandrill, when a woman was to say that to you, that they're blaming it on you and they don't know their bodies, are you thinking they're lying? Do you think they're lying? What are you thinking? What's the reason for saying that?
I think he stepped away.
Oh, he stepped away.
Yeah, he's shaving his legs.
John, oh Lord. John, what would you think the excuse? I can't ask John, y'all married. Oh, y'all married. I can't ask y'all those questions. I don't know. What is it? Let's do the super chats and maybe Mandrill will come back. Again? Wait a minute, hold on. Let me do the super chats and maybe Mandrill will come back before that's done. Malarkey 5, thank you so much for your 13-pound super chat. Showing some love from London, England. Thank you so much for being here. Hope others show some love for you. You're a great quality work. Thank you so much for that. Big Ant. Big Ant says, hey, SB is still called the birds and the bees, or have we moved on to something else? Listen, you have to, Big Ant, this is a delicate situation. I have to watch my words and make sure I say the right thing. I better use birds and the bees. So thank you for that. You're exactly right. But anyway, okay, John, the question was, it's really not going to be for you because you're a married man. But if a woman were to say that she doesn't know her body or maybe hasn't had an orgasm per se, do you think that she is lying? What do you think? I mean, what it would be your response to that? Black man, any one of y'all, what would y'all think is going on if a woman would say that is her reason for not wanting to have sex?
I don't think that she would be lying.
Right.
What I would say is that it's her responsibility to learn and to communicate with her husband.
I agree with that.
So
that's what I'm talking about, though. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
What I'm saying is that you can't blame it on me. We're working 80 hours a week. It's your responsibility to figure it out with me.
Oh, I agree. No. I would never. See, that's what I'm talking about. Relationship. I don't think we know how to do relationship. I think a man and a woman that are married should always learn each other's body, but I don't think we take the time to do so. I don't think many people would take the time just to sit up in their bed with their spouse and just touch each other everywhere and just be intimate and have those moments. They're not doing it once a month. They're not making that type of connection. They're not becoming one. They're not getting on one accord. They're not doing that. But we need to, because a wife should never feel like it's a chore to have sex with her husband. If that's the case, then there's some intimacy that is broken, and we got to figure it out what it is. And
But let's make sure though. Let's make sure she understands it's her responsibility though.
to do what?
To make sure that she can get there, that she's enjoying it, because she has to be able to go ahead.
Well, how is she going? Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Now, see, on the makeup of our bodies, it can't just be her, because she's a receiver. She's receiving what you given. So if she's receiving something and it feels good, her body's going to respond to it. If she's receiving something and it doesn't feel good to it, her body's going to respond to it. So either way, what is going to happen, what's going to happen. So if she's not giving a response, that means it doesn't feel good to her. You're saying at that point, I need a little direction. Like I'm telling you, I have heard that there are many women who have not experienced orgasms before. So maybe that's something that needs to be an area that needs to be.
It's in the 80 percentile, security boss. More than 80% of women do not climax during coitus.
Okay, so if that's the case, then we need to explore. That needs to be something discussed with your husband, and we need to explore. Okay, so what is this? How do we get here? What do we need to do to get here? That needs to be explored between those two people.
And that's communication. And people don't communicate even in marriages because, well, they go on their own individual lanes and wondering why he's not doing this or why it's not happening. Then the guy, he's none the wiser. So if she's not talking to him about it, they're not communicating about it. What's he supposed to do?
Well, Mandrell, let me ask you a question, Mandrell. Wouldn't you say though? Okay, if I don't know, I don't want to speak for all men. I'm assuming that most men will communicate and ask questions because most men want to pleasure a woman, right?
I do.
Your wife, correct. Because first of all, the way we're wired,
it's to the point where my girlfriend told me yesterday. It annoys her how many questions I ask.
Yeah, because we take pride. We take pride in what we want to do, whatever it is. We take pride.
Right.
In it. So my question to you would be, if that's the case, if you ask the questions and she doesn't talk, what is the dude supposed to do?
Nothing. There's nothing you can do. Then it's on her because he at least tried. He reached out. You said you backed away.
But that's what I was telling
that's not on him. That's not on him.
That's what I was telling security boss weeks ago. It was a show, I think it was on the OWN network or somewhere. It was talking about sex and marriage. And this lady was having sex with her husband, and she was literally blaming him for her not having an orgasm. She said she would have sex with him, leave out of the bedroom, go in the laundry room, and put her clit on the edge of the damn washing machine or basket or something and get an orgasm. And all these years, she been doing this, blaming her husband, saying, oh, he can't please me, can't satisfy me. She went to the doctor and had a defected vagina. They had to do surgery to fix it for her to have orgasms.
But didn't we start off with that? I said it's probably medical. See, we don't know. We just always just jump into the conclusions like it can't be. It could be just like what you said. Something else could be wrong.
It could be something emotional. She could be in her head about it. There could be anxiety involved there, where she's super nervous about it, or whatever the case may be. And she's a lot of women block themselves from pleasure.
You're right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She could be in her head about it, or she might not be into the guy.
No. We're talking about husbands now. It's too late.
Exactly. With husbands, you got a lot of women who don't want to be with their husbands anymore for real. Okay, they're out of convenience. You know what I'm saying?
Again, we got to fix that. That's dysfunction.
It is very much so. Very much so.
So let's read this. David Milner says, Mr. Milner, how are you doing? He says, a man's sole purpose on earth isn't to sexually please women and make sure they have their orgasms. We understand that, but we're married and we want to make sure that women are doing the job they're supposed to do in marriage, and men also. We don't want our spouses to feel as though they need to go outside the relationship.
Security boss.
But most of the time, orgasm with women, this is just something I learned. Ain't got nothing to do with sex. I learned if you just cuddle and hold her for 20 minutes before you have sex, rubbing your hand like a feather on her body. When you get ready to get in there, she's just mentally there. So
it's
we
mental
know that
and emotional. It's a combination of mental and emotional.
I just said that.
It's a
So
You
combination
have
of
to do
those
that
two.
though, but be honest. Are men doing that, or are they working 80 hours,
I just
coming in to
told
really?
you
Yeah, most
a man. I just said a man would work 80 hours a week, still want to come home and conquer the world with his wife too. But the problem is, if she doesn't communicate, if she's shutting down, I can't make up for her lack of ability to adapt to the situation.
Okay, but the shutting down part is the problem. Why is she shutting down? I think what y'all need to understand is, and if this is not the truth, then there's something wrong. Women like sex just as much as men do.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so if they're not liking it, there is an issue. There's something troubling or something going on with that woman. I don't know what it is. Like Eda Man just had an example. I think Mandrill had an example. There is something going on. And I think what would bring it out would be relationship, communication, finding out what is going on. You may not be able to have that type of love making every night, but you can have it on the weekend, but still make sure your husband's good during the week. But my point I'm trying to make is you get what you got to get from your wife before you go outside your marriage. And you just got to make sure I just can't imagine not being intimate with your husband or your wife forever.
So
Miss Boss, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
I have a question for you, Security Boss.
I'm
I
listening.
just want to clarify from a for question for you from a woman's perspective.
Okay.
Do you think at any way possible that a woman who has connected herself to several men in her life, do you think that's any way possible that could be a part of? Because let me tell you, I heard this. Security, I heard this before. I don't know, remember who said it, but there was a woman that said, I thought marriage was for me. And I had a very promiscuous past with a lot of different men, had a lot of fun in college, before college and high school, and I got married. And it wasn't because of my husband that I stopped having sex. It was because I got bored with just having sex with the same man over and over and over again when I'm used to a variety. So do you think that a woman who has been very promiscuous and had more bodies than a funeral home, do you think that can play a part in a sexless marriage as she gets bored with just having sex with the same person over and over and over again?
Absolutely. I actually think that wouldn't happen. I think she would go cheat on him.
Wow.
Easy Jones said bodies don't matter. Stop capping.
But here's the thing, though.
For a woman receiving a lot of bodies prior to marriage, or even the activity, and you know what? I question this, so y'all can answer this. We are saying a lot of bodies. What if it's long-term relationships with just two different men? Where there's been a lot of sex. I think that could be the same.
Yeah, I actually think that's worse.
Yeah,
that's worse. Yeah, exactly. Because there's more connection.
Yeah. So
exactly.
In that way, I think easy is okay. It's right, because it doesn't have to be. The lot of bodies may not mean as much as those two long-term relationships that lasted 3 and 4 years apart, where you actually connected with these men. They knew your bodies, you knew their body. When y'all got together, there was an explosion. So it doesn't. In that sense, bodies don't matter. But Black Man, to answer your question, I can see that a woman may, if she's not having that connection with her man, it could be a measuring up situation. She's not mentally there. But see, again, y'all, that's why I always go back to the foundation of marriage. That's why I always say marriage is, for me, is a covenant and a commitment to it. You're committed to getting it right. It's not all transactional. We're here. It's a duty to you to do certain things. I got to get this right with you because I said I do. I made a choice to be with you. So, it ain't all about us. It ain't all about our little desires, our own personal selfish desires. We got to get this right, because it's more, like Mr. Milner said, it's more to life than just,
Yeah. But the thing is, it boils down to communication. That's why most marriages, the divorces, they go down to irreconcilable differences. These two people are growing, and instead of growing together, they're growing as individuals, but they're not communicating to their partners how they're growing, what experiences they're having, how they're thinking. They're not doing that, so they grow as an individual while living together. So essentially, you become roommates who no longer connect. You no longer connect because you're not communicating with your partner.
Right, you got to connect. I mean, if you just sit and have those conversations, sitting up in the bed, intimately, just looking at each other, talking to each other, asking each other how the day's going, just connecting, looking at each other's bodies or something, just something that you just wouldn't do to anybody else. How about that?
No,
Just take
no,
a moment.
I think
Now,
the best
Easy
thing,
Money, real quick, man. Easy Money said if she wanted to be promiscuous, why did she get married? Listen, I didn't say she was promiscuous. I said she had a promiscuous past and got married. And if she used to having a variety and she said, man, let me tell you something. I know a girl, she was on my show one time and her email got into a spat. So I'm not going to say her name, but you may remember if you go back a while. She said these words. She said, when I was in college, I had a guy that could hit it from the back real good. Oh my God, he was amazing. I had a guy that could get on top and hit it real good. I had a guy who knew how to eat that thing up real good. She said I had a dude for every position I liked, and they were all great at it. Now she's calmed all up. Now she done got married, and that husband ain't eating that thing like Keith used to do. He ain't hitting it from the back like Eric used to do. Now she's wanting her husband to copycat the dudes she used to have sex with when she was in college.
You know something? She needs a cleansing.
It matters.
She needs,
Those bodies matter.
I don't think that a cleansing is going to help that situation.
She want her husband to be
I think that causes loss. So that's a bit much.
I think what people don't understand, like everybody thought me and my wife was crazy. We don't have a TV in our bedroom. We don't hang out in our bedroom just to talk. Like when I say just to talk, we're typically an intimate moment when we're in our bedroom. And I think people don't understand that. You watching the TV till you sleep, of course you ain't having sex because you got something else operating, taking your time. I think you also got to create the environment that this is where we have sex at. And sometimes you got to get out that environment. You might got to go up there on the wash machine and dryer and get an extra little vibration while the dryer going. You got to change it up. You definitely got to change it up.
if you have that space and that time, you absolutely should. But that's that's getting to know your woman and your man. That takes time. That's relationship. And either man, that's what you got to do if you want a strong relationship with a long-lasting, successful relationship. You got to put that type of time in. I mean, but guess what? Why would you do that with someone else on the outside? Why would you take the time to line up the hotel room, the roses, the conversation when all of that's lacking at home, and you can do all that at home and get it at home?
But that most dudes that cheat ain't doing that. They hitting in the copier room at work.
Yeah.
They buying roses.
That's not true. The side chicks said they are definitely getting taken care of.
Oh yeah, that's a
different
type of dude. That's a different type of dude. A dude that just want to get one off, he'll hit the girl over at Walmart behind the dumpster, and he go back to the house. He ain't thinking about her ass no more. Now I will say this: Easy Money said, "Why wouldn't the husband do what pleases his wife?" Easy Money. You ain't gonna come up here while I'm up here. I know you're not coming because you know I'm gonna get you. However, I'm gonna say this to you while you're in the chat. Listen, if your wife came to you tonight and said, "Easy, I was watching Security Boss. I learned a lot from her, and her show was amazing tonight about telling the truth, baby. You've been hitting it. It felt okay. However, I've been led to tell you something. How you had them legs up in the air. You don't do it like Eric did it before you. And so tonight, when we have sex, I want you to do it like E did it." Now you tell me if you're gonna say the same thing. Why wouldn't a husband want to do what pleases his wife that another man did? So you want her to come and tell you what another man did to her, and you gonna do what the other man did to her to please your wife? Come on, Easy Money. I want to hear what you come on.
But
I want to hear.
Here's the thing. No, here's the thing. All
Come
the
on,
wife
Easy Money.
all the wife has to do to circumvent that is say, hey, one time you did it this way, I'd like to try that, or I'd like to try something new tonight. You know what I'm saying? And if he asks, hey, where'd you get that idea? A movie.
No, you don't have
You know what I'm saying?
So lie to him.
Hey, listen.
Wait a minute. Why would you? No, ain't nobody asking.
Tell them what you want.
How about this? How about, you know what? We've been a little boring. I just been wanting to be more intimate with my wife, and I had a thought about it. So this is why we're doing this. How about
there
that?
you go. Something like that.
Actually, if it's so good, if it's good enough, she ain't gonna be asking all that. She could be like, "Can I get some more?" Women want to be loved, y'all. They want to be intimate with men.
Security Boss. Hold on. Listen, I know the chat finna go nuts. I got to say this. Security Boss. If you've been hitting your wife a certain way for a long period of time, and all of a sudden one night you flip her ass over and do something different, in her head she can be like, where the fuck this come from?
No, she ain't.
See, I'm telling you right now. She gonna be
Okay,
like, where the hell this come from? Wait a minute.
Wait,
Ooh,
wait
he
a minute.
cold.
So if she flip you up, or throw
See you
you
later.
down and
No, well, hell no, we ain't doing that.
We'll see you
So I'm
later,
just saying.
Security Boss. Thanks for having me.
The only
I gotta
point I'm
go.
saying is, see,
Okay.
All right, man, Drill.
the real talk, what we don't want to talk about is some of these girls need to put some WD-40 on their knees.
Come
They need
on.
to- they need to
Come
get
on,
off
E
their
man.
back.
Talk about it.
Too young for that. Y'all are too young for that.
No, for real. Like,
Oh,
like
God.
I'm just saying, some girls need to say, hey, you know what? It's my time to be the person that's gonna get my own by getting on top and doing what I need to do. She can rock, she can move that thing like she need to move it to make herself calm.
So listen, let me make this announcement because Mr. Boss is going crazy over here in the back chat. Listen, guys, we are making all attempts to have a pleasingly pictured show. So we would love for everyone to cam up. We want y'all to be here. We want y'all to have a conversation, but we want to be able to cut this up, put it out there for other people to see. So it would be very nice. Well, no, it ain't gonna be nice. It's mandatory that you cam up if you're coming up here. John the Baptist was up here a minute ago. He had some questions. That's why he's up here. But now John is camming up and we're going to talk to him. And if you want to be a part of the show, which you very well can, you're definitely welcome. But we want you to cam up so we can have a good, pleasingly pictured show. So understand that and just thank y'all for being here. And we're going to just keep it going. But Eat a Man, you're exactly right about the television thing. I didn't want it to get past me before I forgot. A lot of people don't have TVs in their master bedrooms because of that. That is a time to be intimate. They may have just some way of music, and that's a time. And guess what? If you're not doing that, it may be time to adopt some different things into your marriage so you can get that fire back. But guess what we do? We just keep on operating dysfunction and just keep on with our day. And then our marriage life, our sex life just keeps going downhill, 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 and nobody does anything about it. That's what we do. That's what we're most comfortable with.
I tell dudes all the time, the last beautiful thing you're supposed to see before you go to sleep is your wife, not somebody on TV.
That's good.
Or not looking in the face of somebody on Law and Order.
Yeah. So
Law and Order.
Or watching Snapped.
I was trying to find out who was beautiful on Law and Order.
You don't need to be watching Snap before you go to bed. That's not good.
How you gonna make love to your husband after you just watched a woman kill two of her husbands? I don't understand.
It's not good.
I don't understand.
It's not good at all. But listen though, like man, that's why we're talking about dysfunction. I don't think many people. I'm gonna tell you like this. What I often hear is blaming of each other. I'm looking for some solutions. I'm not gonna blame another man or a woman because they have a sexless marriage. I'm gonna tell them how to get the thing back on track. Let's get it back on track by being intimate with each other. And if you don't want to be intimate with your husband, let's figure out why. Let's have the conversations. Let's do this self-reflecting to figure out what happened. That's your husband. You ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. Let's figure this thing out instead of always running away from the relationship. I just think in our community, we don't know how to do relationship. Point blank.
Yeah, I agree. And I think sometimes you just need a vacation. I ain't never seen nobody get turned down in Jamaica or down in Mexico. Ain't getting no booty in Jamaica. There. Yeah, I got
You
a
right
real
about that. I
problem.
just came from over there. I just left there. Listen.
Wait a
let me
minute.
tell you something, man.
Who's going on vacation though? What you saying? You going on vacation to get the booty, or what you saying?
No, I'm just saying sometimes you need to change your scenery. And
Change your scenery.
You and your, okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying you and your wife might need to get the balcony suite, lean her over the balcony, let her see that beautiful view while she just sometimes you gotta swap it up. So many people you're doing the same thing when your wife start moving to that next position before you get ready to go to that next position. You just gotta swap it up on her sometimes, like switch it up on her, catch her off guard. So we never went that way. Go backwards. You only got 5 positions. You might just got to change up the order. So
That's security boss.
What
about? I had a question for you, security boss. So go ahead.
1 second. I got to put this one out there too. This is another question. T-Shaw says some men are afraid to hear the truth from their wives because of egos. Go ahead with your question.
I don't give a damn. You tell me.
Go ahead.
But listen, I'm gonna put it to you like this. Do you think it's wrong for a man to see his wife? Okay, damn it. I'm just going to say what it is. So I told you this before, security boss, some months back. this guy and this girl, they're married. They're young. Probably he's 40, she's 36-ish. He told her when we got married, he showed her a picture of their wedding, and he said, look, this is what I want to see my wife look like. He said, you have become very much overweight, and I just don't feel sexually attracted to you no more. And so until you get back to this wedding day weight, I'm not having sex with you. He told her straight up.
And your question to me is,
no, but I'm gonna ask you the question in a minute. But guess what she did?
what?
She went to the gym for 10 and 11 months straight. Got back down to that wedding day weight. Now, my question to you is, do you think he was right by saying that to her, or was he wrong? Because my wife told him he was, boy, because we do this marriage class at our church. My wife told him straight to his face. She felt like he was wrong for how he said it to her.
I think he was wrong.
Yeah, I think that might have been a little harsh, but it motivated her, so she must have didn't take it that way. She must have understood the assignment. But I gotta say this though, wouldn't there some time between 1 pound and 100 pounds that he could like spoke it a little, worked it out between, before it got outrageous?
But that's what he told her. He said, I've been telling you.
Okay.
Right? So it was a workup. And then finally he just.
And what?
Okay. Then yeah, no, he had.
Why is it on him? I mean, this.
No.
I hate. It's like.
Why
Go ahead, Eve. I'll let you get in.
What you saying? Was it on him to tell her, or why is it on him to what?
No, we got to be
why is it
careful. Go ahead.
Why is it on him? Okay, if he tells her the standard that he wants as a husband, why is it on him to worry about how she takes the information in?
It is on him. Let me tell you why. So see, men do this too. I know men don't like hearing this. You can't weaponize sex too from a man's point of view. He weaponized sex. You're not going to get sex until you look like that. That is wrong. That's the same thing as a woman saying, until you buy me a new car, you're not going to get sex. You just can't weaponize it. For him saying,
Eat a man. Hold on. You stop me first. I'm gonna stop you now.
Right,
so this is the point this is the point I've been saying for years and for decades. I've learned from watching. I've done marriage counseling for over 20 years. And I don't care how you dress this up. Women, it's not how the message is delivered. It's the message they don't like. And until women in general can take the message, no matter how we do it, because I don't know if you deliver it nice, politically correct, you can deliver it on bed of roses. If it's a message they don't like, they don't want to hear it, period. And so what I'm saying to you is, if a man communicates something to you, 9 times out of 10, it's the message she doesn't want to hear. So
but that's
how
not
he says it.
That's not. He gave us the situation. I get it. If a man said, "Hey, babe, you need to lose weight," she take it the wrong way. That's one thing. But he can't weaponize and I'm not going to sleep with you until you do this. That's weaponizing it.
What I'm saying, the biggest, this we're gonna spend 30 minutes and be Black man. I know what you was doing, right? You was setting the story up and you was making it exciting, and I get it. And what people begin to focus on is that he weaponized sex. If a man do this one time, for hundreds of years, for thousands of years, women have been weaponizing sex.
And they're wrong.
Black man just told a story. We're not saying right or wrong. We're just saying what it is. For thousands, what we're saying is right now is it's the message of what he's really trying to say is he's not trying to weaponize. What he's actually trying to say is take care of your body and get in shape. And she knows this. She knows exactly what the bottom line is. We just don't like the fact that he said that we're not gonna sex to continue to lose weight. Don't look at the surface of what he's saying. Look at the big picture of what he's saying.
But he can't take sex away because it's not his body to take away. See, this is this biblical thing that y'all want to talk about. Just like her body's mine, my body's hers too. So So I think he could have said, "Hey, babe, you know, I am losing attraction for you, and I really would like you to lose weight, but I'm here for you to work through this thing. We still gonna have sex, we still gonna do all these things, but I'm gonna be your best cheerleader for you to make sure you lose this weight. Do you need a gym membership? Do you need a personal trainer? What do I need to do to help you get to your goal?" That's a different me on the same team as my wife is saying, "I'm just gonna cut you off. You ain't gonna get no sex no more just because you done gained some weight, especially if this woman done had your kids." I just think that's crazy to me, in my opinion.
It absolutely is.
Okay, so I'm not saying it's not crazy. What I'm saying is, okay, it's what the main concern is. We're talking about the messaging, right? And I understand the messaging is wrong. We understand the messaging is wrong. What I'm saying to you though, what's more important, the message or how the message was delivered? What's most important?
So, John, I think what you're getting to, and you're exactly right, women don't like to be accountable. So when there's no good way. You can, like what I do, I hold women accountable often on things that we do and say. Coming from a woman, it should be okay because I'm a woman. Coming from a man, it could be labeled as disrespectful or you don't know any better, right? But even coming from me, I get pushed back. So you're exactly right. And for that woman not to receive that would be her not wanting to be accountable, knowing full well that she is overweight and she's not the way they were when she got married. So she knows that, but you're exactly right. Women don't like to take accountability. It's just one of those things. And far as women, as far as them holding off on sex or whatever, it was wrong to do. It's wrong for either parties to do for whatever reason. That's where we're talking about the relationship part. But the point that you're trying to make about a woman just not receiving the message, no matter how he said it, is true. But for whatever reason, she must have received it because she took the 10, 11 months and did exactly what he said to do. My only question was, why did he wait till it got to the point where it was to the point that he needed to withhold sex? Why couldn't it be when she was 10 pounds overweight or what? If he needed to say something.
That's not even important because he should not say anything at all about losing weight. This one thing I will commit. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why again, because listen, we are adults when we get married. It's not my job to be the weight control police. My wife has done a great job since we've been married of staying the body type that I want to stay married to. I've never had to go back and tell her, baby, you need to lose weight. When my wife gave me 2 kids, she gained weight. After she had 1 child, she gained weight. Within a couple months, she lost the weight. I've never had to say, baby, you.
But you still expecting that person to read your mind, because my wife was one way. Let me just land.
You mischaracterized what I said. No, the expectation was set.
It is your responsibility to communicate what you don't like.
Listen, you mischaracterized.
My wife,
you mischaracterized what I said.
Hold on, listen. My wife was one way when we got married. She gained weight, and I liked it better. I liked it, her putting on a little pounds in the right area after she had the baby. So what if her trying to go back to this person what I got married to, and I like what she at right now? So that's the point that I'm telling you, is that you can't assume that a person just like that.
But you're talking about something totally different than what was presented. Okay, so if you want your wife to gain weight, yes. What we're talking about is women who gain weight, and then so if you gain weight, and we know that men don't like it, you're saying if a man likes it, that's a different story. But the point,
how does she know if you don't communicate?
How would he know? How would she know that he didn't like it, unless if he wouldn't have said anything?
Okay, so listen, I agree what E-Man just said just now. His point is valid for what he's talking about. If she gained weight, he likes it, he can communicate. He stay right there like that. What I'm saying to you though is, if we got married and I told my wife if you tell your wife at this point, this is where I want you. It's not my job throughout. It's not my job throughout the marriage to be the weight control police.
No, I agree with that. No, if you marry the type of woman who keeps herself in shape, exercise, eats right, and things like that, you won't have to do that. But if you did marry that person, then your expectation was too high from the beginning.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Dudes get with retribution and they get mad at her 20 years down the road that she bid. No, if you accepted her bid, you need to accept her bid throughout the whole relationship. I know
Oh, no,
guys
I don't.
just don't
I don't
like
disagree
that.
with that. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. If you married a woman that was big, you set the standard then. You
Well,
set the
no,
standard.
no,
Go ahead.
sometimes youth covers up everything. Say you married a woman and she was 18 or 19 years old. She's not a full-grown woman at that point most of the times. And when she does have the kids, she may not be that woman by nature that says, I am going to exercise. She may not be that type of woman. She may not be that athlete. She could have been, but she may not have been. And if she wasn't, then she may have grown into who she was as a woman, and she didn't walk or she didn't do exercise. She's not athletic. And now she's 30. Now her hips are now spreading. She's different because you didn't see it because you got her at 18 or 19 years old. She was never that woman. You get what I'm saying? She could have been that woman, but if she wasn't that woman, you would have never known until she got 30 that she wasn't going to be able to withhold or keep up this figure that you caught her at 18.
Do we not see a pattern develop here? Everything a woman does, it's a man's job. It's a man's job responsibility to make sure that she stays responsible for what she's supposed to do.
I didn't say it was your responsibility. I'm just saying that wasn't who you married. See, sometimes we have to, if you want a certain type of woman, you got to pay attention to who that woman is. And sometimes if you marry them too young, they haven't grown into who they're going to be. And you may not notice that she could have been thin as a pole at 18, but that may not be the woman she's going to grow up to be. I think the best thing to do is look at her mama, and to make a determination on what mom looks like, because she may not be that woman to carry on that thin figure. She's just youthful. When 30 hits, women change. When 40 hits, women change, especially if they're not those women who like to exercise or who not athletic or who not, interested in eating the right food. They may change. That's all I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
Just John, I don't know too many wives that not listening to their husband when it comes down to what their husband like. If I tell my wife how I like her hair, how I like her to dress, how I like they like that feedback because they want that type of attention from me. So it's not I'm not talking about.
I don't disagree with that. What I'm saying is all the things I got to worry about as a man, all the things I got to carry as the load I got to carry. Okay, so I get what your point that you made, either man, about if she gains weight and you like how she get that weight look on her, you don't want to lose it. Okay, you got to communicate that because that's a change that you act now accepting. I get that. And I'm not even arguing that point because I think you're right on that point. Because if she was thin before and you like her better a little bit heavier, okay, communicate that because now you want to change. But what I'm saying is, if I married you one way, I accepted you this way, this is the standard I'm looking for. And if you begin to gain a little weight, I'm gonna tell you 1 or 2 times you gain a little bit of weight. But for a lifetime of you to me, I have to remind you that you gaining 30, 40 pounds is crazy to me.
I don't, you have to look at the woman. Again, there are some women who take care of themselves, to eat right. What if it was a woman that did nothing wrong? What if she was a woman that just age put the extra pounds on her? Every time you look at her, your wife. Wait a minute, let me speak to Hink first. Hink, how you doing? Okay. And then go ahead, black man.
I have a breaking news here. He's watching the show because I'm streaming it on my channel.
Who?
He says,
who is he?
I quote, he just texted me. He said, don't mention my wife's name or our names because I don't want to embarrass my wife. That's what he just said. He said, but the reason he didn't have sex with his wife is because her breathing changed. She was sweating heavily, and it was disgusting to him during sex.
I can agree with that. I mean, I told y'all there's a lot.
He said that's why. He said hold on. Damn, he sent me a long message. Look, y'all.
Stop it, black man. Did you?
He said, hold on. I'm not gonna go through the top part. I'm just gonna go through the bottom part. Then he says, also, let me go. I want to say that. Okay. Oh yeah. He said also, let them know that I did not want to have sex with my wife. It was just uncomfortable for me to have sex with her while she was breathing heavily and while she was sweating profusely. He said I could not do it, and it disgusted me to a point I couldn't even get it up to even have sex with.
Wow. See what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a lot of different ways. Okay, so here's the deal. Has he told his wife this?
He did. He said, you overweight, you got to lose weight, you got to go get that weight off of you because I can't see myself having sex with you until you do. And she went. spent 8 to 10 months and got that weight off of her. You ought to see her now. She looks wonderful.
Okay, good. Okay, that's the same person. Oh, okay, I got you now.
Yeah, it's the
I got
same
it.
person. Yeah, yeah.
I got it. So wait a minute before we go on. Thank Hink the basement. Hey Hink, again, thank you for your $2. He says, SB, Heather's welcome. Haters. Oh,
Heathens.
oh, and heathens
Come on,
welcome
you
up
back
on-
there.
haters. Are heathens welcome up on this? No, when you come up here, you're not a heathen, Hink. There's no heathens here. Forget that. Marcus says, thank you, Marcus, for your $5 super chat. What's going on, my good people? I believe that people, they live in dysfunction are one of the problems in our community. It's a spiritual sickness. It is, Marcus. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. Listen, you are not a heathen today. You can be
security boss, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever heard that Hank is a spirit?
Hink is a spirit?
Hank. No?
In the South, we call it Hank.
Hank, okay.
I know exactly what you're talking about, E-Man. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Hink here?
The name.
Oh,
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about, brother. In the South, that's real bad in the South.
What does it mean?
It's a bad spirit.
It's like a spirit.
This is a bad spirit. What does it do?
It haunts people.
Oh, okay. That sounds like witchcraft, y'all. I got you. Okay, so listen, going back
What's
to
going on, big brother Hink?
What's going on? How y'all good people doing?
Going good. So Hink, you've been listening to what we're talking about, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so listen, we have taken a lot of turns here. So we're talking about dysfunction is keeping them single. And we talked about a lot of dysfunctions that we've had in our relationships, our marriage relationships. Which one would you like to address? Would you like to address the one where the husband, for whatever reason, needed to cheat? Do you feel like the wife or was responsible for him cheating? Or you pick it up any way you like? What would you like to add?
I mean, I guess we could talk about the dysfunction that people love to entertain. Is that what we're doing?
It doesn't. You know what? We entertain a bunch of dysfunction, but whatever you would like to. We're just talking about dysfunctions that are keeping you single. But then we went over to married folks too, and we talked about the dysfunctions in our marriage that are keeping us sexless, actually. And we just had someone add a lot of information to the panel as far as reasons why a married couple could be sexless. And we just talked about different reasons because I feel like there's always a reason why a woman would keep or withhold sex from a husband or vice versa. And Black Man just brought up an issue that probably no one thought about. And I think Eda Man brought up a good one too that no one probably would think about, So what would you have to add to that?
Well, I really don't think there should be no reasons why a marriage should be sexless. It shouldn't be no reasons at all. But if the woman or the man want to come up with the reasons, then I feel like that other person ought to be able to outsource the booty. So outsource the cheeks.
So you feel like, okay, so that's grounds to cheat.
Yeah, if you're going to hold back and not give it to me, and I have the right to outsource cheeks.
Outsource cheeks.
Yes.
Okay.
We outsource lawn care service. We outsource maybe car repairs. We also outsource cleaning in the house. Hiring a maid service, a child care service. Yeah, why can't we outsource the cheeks?
So you would be willing to outsource versus fixing the problem?
Well, no, I want to fix the problem, but in the meantime, between time, we're going to outsource some cheeks. Now, it's not considered cheating because the other person is going to know that I'm outsourcing the cheeks. So it's not cheating.
Oh, so is this a marriage? Are we married or are we just dating?
Married. So
wait a minute, say that again.
Is that cheating? Hold on, let's get a baseline. Is that cheating, SB? If a man tells his wife he's going to get some cheats somewhere else, will we consider that cheating?
Oh, absolutely.
Even if she knows, even if she's aware of the situation, we realize we agreed on.
No, she didn't agree.
Hey, can you acknowledge Easy Money, please? Look at his message he sent to you.
Wait a minute. I can't imagine any woman agreeing to outsource her husband's penis.
Oh, that's real.
They out there.
So wait a minute. Easy Money says, so if a man has ED, can the woman outsource? You see, See,
Absolutely.
okay, but black man, I'm having a problem
Absolutely.
tonight because me and Easy have been meeting minds, and this is I'm losing it because I was going to ask a question just like that.
But we weren't talking about erectile dysfunction. This man said he saw something that he was no longer attracted to. We weren't talking about a medical condition.
No, he's relating this to what Ink is saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I know the men gonna disagree. Absolutely. Check this out. If the blue pill don't work for him, it's no way for him to get it up, and that situation is dead. Absolutely, he should let his woman go get some cheats somewhere else.
Oh, that's crazy. Y'all better figure out something else to do. That's ridiculous. You don't.
Yeah, he can go buy him he can go buy him a 18-inch scrap on 1,000 goat man over there.
You can't be out.
Well, the thing is, you should always give the opportunity to correct the situation.
No, I get it. I'm just
you're first going to get that opportunity to correct the situation. Now, if the situation cannot be correct, fix or reconcile, then we're going to have to outsource the problem.
But
the reason I said you think you that guy.
No, the reason I said this is because I know somebody who's paralyzed from the waist down. He got paralyzed 15 years in his marriage. He cannot have sex below, and that was the decision. He said, "I want to keep his wife. His wife is still taken care of, and she still go get her sexual need." I can't. I get you can say that he can do something else.
Well,
I get it.
Can he? I don't know.
Huh?
Can he do something else?
He can do something with his hands, but she can't get no more penis for the rest of her life. And I think he said, "I'm happy that she wanted." This is what the dude said. He said, "I'm happy that she still want me. She's still willing to take care of me because now I'm a burden to her, even though I'm her husband. So she's still taking care of him. She's still making sure everything's taken care of. She just need to go get some penis." And I think he was smart in leaving her.
Hold on, man.
No,
hold on, man. Because it's just some bullshit. Hold on, man. Because
what you say in your vows, what is better to worse? What's sickness and in health? Come on, y'all. What is a sickness? Sickness is disabled, disability. He can't do this. She can't do this.
So y'all know Steve Gleason that got ALS. He got ALS. His wife is still, she's young too, guys. I mean, I think she's probably 33. He's 34, maybe. And Mr. Gleason has ALS, and it's really took a toll on him. This woman is pregnant with her 5th child. Now, if a man with ALS hitting some ass and clapping some cheeks, y'all can figure something out. She's pregnant with her 5th child from her husband.
I know, but ALS is different from being paralyzed.
Have you seen Gleason though? Have you seen him here in a chair?
I know. Yeah, but he get to work every now and then. It look like he only have ALS every now and then.
Don't do it, man.
They have certain apparatuses that they can use, but even probably the disabled man. But what I'm saying is, it's not about that. What about the better worse? What's wrong with y'all? Y'all.
It's you. You said apparatus.
Miss Boss.
I'm not gonna say wrong thing.
So y'all think that paralyzed man should have left his wife?
No,
not saying at all.
You shouldn't be going out trying to get no fix though either.
No, that was the deal. She said, "I'm willing to stay here. I'll take care of you. I'll pay all the bills. I'm gonna do everything that I'm supposed to do. But I'm going out there to get my fix. If you don't like it, you can leave." I think he should have stayed. What are you gonna do? Pay somebody? He gonna go to a home?
That shouldn't have been an ultimatum. What does your marriage vows say? What are they for?
For better or worse, he's there.
Miss Boss, this is why I actually, because either man is not lying to you. You talk to these young guys on these panels, you talk to these young guys in the street. The wedding vows are trash now. I agree with the wedding vows. You agree with the wedding vows. Most older people do. But this new generation, the wedding vows don't mean anything anymore. So what I keep saying, like every time I say this, everybody think I'm crazy. Marriage pretty much is dead. Matter of fact, if you look at the stats and data, they say divorce rate is actually going down. What they're actually not telling you is that people are actually not getting married at the rate that they was getting married at.
Because, I can believe that, but
because marriage is not valued anymore.
I can agree with that too. But let me say this though. I don't think, and I'm gonna ask you guys because everybody in here during their marriage already been married. So listen. I happen to think that people that are single have no idea what it's like to be married. So they have no vision into what a married man or woman's life looks like. So when they speak on it and they give their opinions, it's like hogwash to me. So for them to say a marriage is this and marriage is that, it means nothing to me. Now, they don't have to participate in marriage. I would actually suggest that they don't, but marriage is good. It's the people that go to get married, those are the problems. And if you get up there and you say those vows and they're a joke to you or they mean nothing to you, then you are a foolish person. You don't need to even mess with something that you're not ready for. So I agree in that aspect, whereas a person is dead because you're not willing to do what is what you're supposed to do when you take those vows. But just to say marriage is dead, that is not the case, because outside of these spaces, there are a lot of people that are still getting married. And in my opinion, there are quite a bit of people in these spaces that are still getting married, as you know, as
I don't disagree. The sentiment that you're expressing, I agree with you 100%. The concept of marriage that we accepted, I agree. It's alive and living.
Mm-hmm.
It is still breathing, it is still moving, but the idea, what's happened though is two generations below us, maybe some millennials too, they don't, it's dead to them. They don't want what we have or what we had. They think what we have and what we had, they think is outdated. They think it's not going to work. They think that it puts them in a weakened position, especially as men, and some women too. That's why I'm saying to the majority of generations below us, is a dead concept to them.
But
And
you know what? I think that men do want what we have. Most of the men I come in contact with, they want a traditional relationship. I mean, that's what they speak of. And that might be some farther down, like you said, that may not. And I would say they have no vision. You know, they don't have a good they're not good forecasters. But the ones
if you look at the risk versus the reward,
mm-hmm.
the way they look at the risk versus the reward, and to their eyes and what they're dealing with in their generation, they're saying it's not worth the risk anymore.
Dealing with,
and I want to say this. I want to add this real quick before we get too far away from it. There was a chef that owned a restaurant named B. Smith. I don't know if y'all familiar with. She's a celebrity chef. She cooked for everybody, presidents, all kinds of shit. Well, she got Alzheimer's disease, and when she got it, her husband hired a nurse to around the clock for his wife to take care of her. Where he was attracted to that nurse. Him and the nurse started having sex, having a relationship. She became his girlfriend. She would get up in the morning and feed his wife, and go sleep with them, and go sleep with her husband.
Yep.
And they would roll her in the room by herself. They put her clothes in the guest room, and the nurse moved in the bedroom with the husband.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I support that. I know y'all think I'm crazy. Listen, I know y'all think I'm crazy. Like, I'm not. I don't have that mindset that if I can't do something for my wife, she should suffer for the rest of her life. And
so, you okay with your wife getting buzzed down by another dude?
Listen, if I'm in a wheelchair and I can't do it, and my wife come to me and tell me that's what she needs, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell her no. I'm gonna go live in a home and let some random stranger mistreat me. I get it. I get we live in these fantasy worlds where people say, nah, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. I just done seen a lot of people people don't know what I do.
Do you hear Miss Boss? Do you hear Miss Boss? Do you hear what he's saying?
Yeah, selfishness. That's all it is.
How old do you eat?
I'm selfish.
No, I'm not saying you are selfish, but what you're outlining is selfish desires, because your wife, not your wife, we shouldn't even use your people. The person that you're outlining is disabled. They can no longer do for you, but I got to get mine. So I'm gonna go ahead and push her in the room and go on out and get mine. Or I'm gonna push him in the room, go out and get mine. Those are selfish desires. That's not purposely. That's not what we're here for. You know, it's not always to make sure that we get our.
And the woman, let me tell you, she hold out for about 9 years.
Look at me.
Listen, I get what y'all saying. She held out for 9 years. She was faithful to that man in the wheelchair. And then about that 10th year, she got that itch. She didn't just go out. He got paralyzed and she just went out there. It was about 10 years she had started getting that itch. And then she had got her this guy, and this guy knew that it wouldn't be no relationship. It was just one thing that she was going to fulfill that. And I know people look at it crazy, but
No.
like,
I don't look like you're crazy.
That worked for their marriage. That worked for their marriage because they both agreed upon it. I get we can try to push our beliefs on them, but he said, "Babe, I understand this. I can't do this for you, and I don't want you to go without. So do what you do. Just don't." He was like, "Don't get no diseases." No, like that matter.
What difference would it make? How you gonna tell me I'm gonna do
I know, but listen, I think his mental. He didn't want her to get no diseases. He didn't want her to get pregnant.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. See how raggedy that is. What if she did get pregnant? Then he wanted to abort the baby, right?
I get it. He asked her not. I get it. Everybody can call it crazy, but when I look at them, I believe that man is happy today. I see they just went to a football game. She pushed him into that football game. He watched that, this, that, and third. And I'm pretty sure she went to go get her some penis right after the football game was over.
Okay, look, do what you want. Do what you want. Everybody can do what they want, and they're realistic in their reality. It doesn't really matter, but it's a selfish thing that makes you want to do things like that because
what can he do to stop the situation?
It ain't that he needs a situation. You making
say, no. As soon as you roll asleep, I'll roll on him.
Yeah, you sit. Yeah, you in the wheelchair like this.
Let her get real good at it. Then she'll start letting the man come to their apartment.
He in there watching.
He in there watching.
No, yeah. See, she really respects him. I know y'all might not look at it like she respect this man. She ain't bringing nobody to their house. Listen, she paying all the bills. Matter of fact, she even got him a nurse. She got him a nurse that come over there and
start walking tomorrow.
Well, she better stop.
Jesus
healed his legs. She better go back.
What you've just said is that everything is just so conditional. Only if it works for me, if it's going to work. I can't sacrifice anything. I mean, I don't know the situation, but it's just,
I've said it for years. Marriage, the concept of marriage is a dying concept to this generation coming out to us. The mindset of marriage is changing. Now, what I do like what E-Man is saying and what everybody is saying is I understand what they're saying. Because back in the old days, if somebody got paralyzed, they would just lie about not cheating. They would just lie about it and pretend like they weren't doing nothing. But in this year, because I had a next door neighbor who was married to an older man. Oh, they weren't even married. They were just boyfriend, girlfriend, but they was like an older couple. And he was bound to a wheelchair. She would bring people into his house.
See? So listen, Black is telling me SB life is conditional. Yeah, only accounting to my wants and what I want. As long as Mr. Buzz is giving me what I want, I'm good, right? Right. No.
I just want to tell y'all this here. I want to say this to all the old people. I know y'all ain't gonna like what I'm saying, but if you 60, you say that you got a boyfriend or girlfriend, you're weird. Like, there's no reason that you should be 60, 65 years old talking about you got a boyfriend. Like, you are too grown for that. Like, you too grown that you.
This is amazing to me because it's like, it's just, we can always sit back and say what would be good for us if we're the ones that are receiving. But if the shoe was on the other foot, it would be like, you ain't gonna watch. It ain't too many men are gonna watch their woman have sex and knowingly have sex with another man. It ain't too many that's gonna allow that and be like, okay, I can't give it to her, so she might as well go. It ain't that situation you just outlined. Either man, ain't too many men gonna do that. Not too many.
I think a lot of men will be willing to do it, especially if she don't start mistreating him. Especially if she don't bring the dude around, because she never brought this dude around. She ain't bringing him to Thanksgiving. Like, I'm telling you, like, I thought it was crazy.
How about this? Let's look at the whole picture. Who is this other dude? Is he a married man? Why is he not coming around? He's sitting around waiting on this woman whenever she get ready to take
I don't know what he got going on because they said I was asking too many questions. Because I really want to know.
You see how much dysfunction this is?
It is some dysfunction.
I tell you what I would do. If I was the paralyzed man, that's what I would do.
I apologize, security boss, for bringing this bull crap up.
Look, Hank, you're such a heathen. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, Hank, it's a real thing because like Eda Man just said, there people are doing it. I'm telling you, I wouldn't do it. First of all, I would be fearful to go against my vows because I think everything in life is purposeful. Even if my husband, not me, y'all shouldn't be using me as an example. If a woman's husband became disabled, I would even think that is purposeful for whatever reason. I have to figure out what's going on here. Why is this happening? What am I supposed to be doing due to the fact this is happening? I would just be trying to find who I am and what I'm supposed to be in this situation that I've been given. That's who I am. Then I might think about myself later on, but I would take most of my time to figure out what am I supposed to be doing with this situation? How did I get
She took 9 years. She took 9. She was faithful to that man for 9 years, and then she said, "I had enough. I got to get off." That's what she said.
Going with somebody else's husband.
We don't know if
we don't know if somebody else's husband or not.
Okay, so he just sitting back waiting.
Well, no, he got a Rolodex. He got a Rolodex of women. He got
somebody else's husband. That's somebody else's husband.
What if the husband approves of the women, or the wife approves of the husband, of the men they picking? What if they have okay, he's all right, he's not okay, I don't want him, but he's okay with this man.
You mean approve of them having sex with their spouse? Is that what you mean?
I mean actually picking out the person they're going to be with.
Oh, you mean like when he passes away or something? Like
no.
Okay, I don't know about that. That's a totally different situation. I never thought.
He in the wheelchair watching in the heat of the night, and she next door in the other room. Oh, Billy!
But you know what though? I think often.
I say, babe, put some headphones on. Give me some noise canceling headphones.
You know, okay, so you know what?
Let me ask this question.
I don't need to hear it. I don't know about it. Don't give me the replay. I don't know.
Wait a minute, y'all. Don't often though, women when men pass away, they often like go to their best friends or people they know anyway, though. So that's like, I don't think they marry strangers anyway, Hink. So that may be something.
You seen that video that went viral where the guy asked the wife to her husband was sick for a long time. He passed away. He asked that woman to marry him at the damn repast.
No,
that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful, but this happened in my family.
Man, why?
Come on, E-Man. Come on, Eda Man. Come on, Eda Man. You're not being consistent.
You surely not.
No, I am being consistent.
No, you're not.
You need to do that in private.
So he can get the chicks while he's checking in the
No, if you don't care, you don't care. That's you being very.
No, but this happened in my family. Like I ain't gonna say what. Listen,
it doesn't matter.
Somebody died, and the man married her best friend like 6 months later. Like literally, it was like 6 months later, and they swear that they ain't have nothing coming on. But that's what happened.
Okay, see, that's still straight
Eda
up.
Man. Okay, hold on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You.
Eda Man. He's paralyzed. She can bang somebody else. He's dead and marry somebody less than a month, or talk to somebody less than a month later. It's a problem with this one though. Come on, make this make sense, Eda Man.
It's not a problem with him marrying her because this happened in my family. I had no problem with it. You speaking at their funeral about you getting with another woman is disrespectful to the dead. Like, come on. Like, his grandkids
He's dead. He's dead.
His grandkids is there. His kids is there. Like, come on now. We go ahead.
You having special respect for the
plans more priority than the funeral plans.
You're so crazy.
I just think
the dysfunction that you all live in to make it right. Eda Man, you tried to make that right. That was just wrong all the way around. It doesn't matter.
6 months after?
Right. What difference does it make? He's dead. What kind of special respect do we have for the dead? What?
You got respect for the family.
Did what? Did we go?
Like,
okay.
Don't telling me that you gonna get with my granddaddy at the funeral. Y'all, we need to find out 6 months later.
You've been already getting with your granddaddy. It was already together.
Hey, the dude saved the family some money.
Your grandma and nigga getting bust down. You ain't even know.
Y'all are bad.
I'm gonna propose in front of the family, and we're gonna save some money here. That's how you save coin.
Hank, this is all your fault, Hank. You did it. You're the one. Look, it don't need to be Hank in the basement. It needs to be Hank the heathen.
Oh,
All right, guys. Listen, Black Man, shout out what's going on tomorrow with you.
yes. Tomorrow night, guys, please tune in. Skid Ross, I don't know if you got a chance to watch. Saturday I was out with the kiddos, but we do have a new show on Black Men Unfiltered Network. Conversations with a housewife with Miss Jenny.
Yes.
So I'm excited about that, to get a woman's perspective from how it is to be a housewife, and she's having those conversations. And she had a really good one Saturday, talking about marriage and love and family. So guys, tune in to that every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also tomorrow night, Talk That Talk Tuesday, as usual, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. What do men want? What do men really want? What do women really want? Is what we're talking about tomorrow.
All right. And everybody, thank y'all so much for an outstanding show. Could have done it any better. Black Man, good to have you back. Thank you, guys. And until we see you again, y'all have a very peaceful week. Have a good week, y'all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul on the road. Say, why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul on the road.
See, I've been lost in my thoughts, and my thoughts, they too are scared to usher you off. Sorry, Mom, I just thought you were my world. Now you're not. And I'm just sitting, smoking, sloping in a daze, cause my days ain't been the same since I drove your away. I remember the way you wrote letters in blue ink. You and me was in love. Think about what your crew think. I know your moms probably think I'm a bastard. Your pops probably want to beat my death and take a in my casket. But I got sick of fighting, bickering, fussing over nothing, cussing. Instead of watching the death of discussions that we once had, days that we once spent in the backseat of our cars, reading poets at sunset. It's funny how love can fall out the foreground, get pushed into the back of your mind. We used to twist a spliff and laugh and relax. Now you crying, and I'm trying to find the reasons. So I ask, does forever ever happen, or is it always fade to black?
I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul on the road. I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul on the road.